After the ice-cold campus, Beauty loses her hearing in an accident. She hates anyone getting close to her deaf left ear, even the male lead. Takes 5 years to barely get her to lower her guard. But me, I'm the villain's second lead, and I refuse to play by those rules. I'm dead set on breaking them. I lean in and whisper right into Lyra's deaf left ear. It happens so fast. I'm right up against her injured ear before she can react. Lyra freezes for a split second, then her eyes go ice cold. She shoves my arm away without a second thought, and a red mark instantly blooms across my wrist. She catches the tears welling up in my eyes. How are you this strong? Lyra barely deals with guys to begin with, and I'm the one responsible for her injury in the first place. She looks at me, completely blank, and says 2 words, serves you right. Has she always been this cold? No wonder she's always alone. I grumble to myself but keep up a sweet, well-behaved front. I'm really sorry for getting you hurt. But then I flip the script, throwing her own words right back at her. You kinda deserve it too. There were so many people around. Why'd you have to step in front of me? Lyra, don't tell me you've got a thing for me. I'm not sure if I'm imagining it, but the corner of her mouth seems to twitch upward. Before I can get a better look, Lyra is staring at me coldly again, a faint bruise still visible at the corner of her lips. I'd sooner fall for a stray cat than ever like you. That one actually stings. I freeze on the spot, staring at Lyra with complete disbelief. My face flushes red in an instant. The scene outside the classroom flashes through my mind and a wave of anger rises up out of nowhere. I blurt it out without thinking. Do you like Ethan? Lyra's expression stays flat. Think whatever you want. But even so, who I care about is absolutely none of your business. It has everything to do with me. I bite my lower lip. I've set my eyes on her, so Lyra has to be mine. That's just how I am. Spoiled and completely unapologetic about it. What makes Ethan think he can even compare to me? My pride takes a hit. I raise my voice on purpose. Lyra, you'll regret this. Whether she'll ever regret it, I have no idea. But right now, I want the ground to swallow me whole. No matter how spoiled I am in real life, I've never said anything that arrogant out loud. Looking back, it's absolutely mortifying. Back in my comfortable bedroom, I collapse onto the wide bed, drained of every last bit of energy, not wanting to move a muscle. The next morning, I'm up early. There's a lot to deal with at school today. What a headache. I suddenly miss the days when I could sleep in as long as I wanted. High schoolers are up before dawn and home after dark. No wonder everyone wants to nap in class. I arrive at school in the family's luxury car, stepping out at the gate like I own the place. A crowd of envious stares follows me. I yawn lazily, half asleep, and shuffle forward. Someone steps into my path. Hey, why aren't you in uniform? The guy is half a head shorter than me, a discipline monitor badge hanging around his neck. Neat short hair, voice calm and polite. I squint at him, still not quite processing the situation, but the competitive fire inside me is already lit. Time to show him what this young master is made of. I arch my pretty eyes lazily and shoot back. Are you blind? No uniform means no uniform. Watching Ethan look all wounded and delicate, like a fragile little flower, I feel quietly smug. Ethan has probably never met anyone as unreasonable as me. He stands there stunned for a good moment before snapping back, takes a deep breath, swallows his frustration and says firmly, not wearing your uniform means points get docked. A pampered young master like me can be pretty insufferable sometimes. Good looks count for nothing if that's all there is. I catch his look of disgust, and my attitude gets even worse. Go ahead and dock them. I'm not stopping you. I reach for the list in his hand as I say it. The name's Adrian. Want me to write it down for you? Please don't push it, Ethan says, stumbling back a few steps, looking like the world has done him a terrible wrong. It almost makes me feel like the bad guy. My fingers haven't even touched the list when someone grabs my wrist, hard. The grip is shockingly strong. I can't hold back a cry of pain. I struggle to pull free, but can't. I spin around and glare at whoever grabbed me. I'm fine, really, Ethan says. Please let him go first. A small crowd has gathered without anyone noticing. Seeing Lyra step in, Ethan feels both relieved and quietly worried. He instinctively reaches out toward Lyra's hand, still gripping my wrist. Whether it's coincidence or not, his fingertips haven't made contact yet. When Lyra lets go of me first, tears are spitting in my eyes from the pain. What on earth has gotten into Lyra? How can she be that strong? I honestly thought my hand was going to snap off. Ethan spots the red mark on my wrist and visibly startles. Afraid I'll go after Lyra, he says quickly. That looks bad. Let me take you to the infirmary. I'm not taking his charity. My eyes, already a little red, go wide. Mind your own business, I snap. Lyra steps sideways, placing herself in front of Ethan. She fixes her sharp gaze on me. I'll take you. You don't have to. It's because of me, Ethan starts. Sure, then carry me. Lyra's brow furrows immediately. She's about to say no, when she catches the faint redness at the corner of my eyes. Tears barely dry, and already I'm making demands. Are you serious right now? What else? I glare back, holding my ground. I play the role of the entitled young master to perfection, but inside I'm a little nervous. What, you don't want to carry me? You'd go that hard for Ethan, but walking me to the infirmary is too much to ask? Lyra lets out a cold laugh and steps straight toward me. Ignoring Ethan's protest behind her, she grabs my arm and pulls me forward. I'm completely caught off guard. She drags me several meters before I even think to resist. Where are you taking me? Weren't we going to the infirmary? This doesn't feel like a trip to the infirmary. It feels like she's hauling me off to be buried, but there's no way I'm backing down. I swallow hard and demand loudly. Didn't I say I wanted you to carry me? Lyra doesn't even acknowledge me. Are you even listening to me? Still not a word from her. Now I'm fully furious. Are you deaf or just mute? I told you to. She flings me off in one sharp motion. I meet her ice-cold eyes, and the color drains from my face instantly. My words die in my throat. Lyra's expression darkens to something genuinely frightening. Under her stare, my skin crawls, a rare moment of guilt creeping in, but I have to keep up the arrogant act. That's what you get for ignoring me. I didn't mean to bring up her hearing. I was just venting. She switches moods way too fast. She's not actually going to hit me, is she? I scan the area out of the corner of my eye. Not a single person in sight. My nerve wavers. The moment Lyra moves, I scramble backward like she's contagious, but she doesn't even glance at me. Keep up. I stand there frozen, completely lost as to what she's playing at. In the 2 seconds I spend spacing out, Lyra has already put serious distance between us. I grit my teeth and follow. We arrive at the school infirmary. The school doctor prescribes an anti-swelling ointment. My slow brain finally catches up. 36 yuan, nothing serious. Apply the ointment a few times and the swelling will go down. Little couple having a spat? The doctor asks, clearly enjoying the gossip, then launches into a well-meaning lecture. Fighting is fine, but you can't just go around hurting people like that. This poor boy's got such delicate skin. He can't take that kind of force. Lyra pulls a few crumpled bills from her pocket. Some ones, some fives. After hearing the doctor's words, her brow tightens, her whole face screaming that she wants nothing to do with me. That attitude of hers irritates me immediately. I whip out my phone, scan the payment code, and pay for the ointment on the spot, then tilt my chin up smugly. All that fumbling around. No money in your pockets, yet you act so high and mighty. The doctor, who had just been feeling sorry for me, now looks at me with a deeply complicated expression. I don't care what anyone thinks. I'm just waiting to watch Lyra squirm, but she doesn't even flinch. Cool and composed as ever, she tucks the coins back into her pocket like it's nothing. So she's thick-skinned too, probably celebrating inside over saving herself 36 yuan. What a cheapskate. But thinking about how she actually lives, I feel an odd, quiet confidence stir inside me. By the time we reach the classroom, the first period is more than halfway done. The Chinese teacher is a sweet little old man. He sees us walk in late and gives us a gentle talking to before waving us through. Are teachers really this easygoing these days? I walk in late on the very first day of the semester and expected to be punished for sure. It only takes a second to figure out. Ethan must have put in a word for us beforehand. There's no way we'd get off this easily otherwise. I roll my eyes hard. Ethan obviously did it for Lyra. I just happen to benefit. I want to see what it actually looks like when Lyra is good to someone. I turn toward the window seats. Ethan sits by the inner side, slight and lean. Lyra sits tall and straight, naturally shielding most of him from view. I watch Lyra tilt her head slightly, leaning toward Ethan. Outside the window, the shadows of sycamore leaves sway gently across the desk in the breeze. A cool, reserved girl with her head slightly bowed. A gentle, good-looking boy with a shy expression. The sight is painfully hard to look at. Nova calls my name in a hushed voice several times, but I'm not in the mood to respond. Seeing the teacher deep in his lecture, Nova leans over and starts gossiping. You think something's off with those two, right? I shift my eyes slightly and play dumb. Who? Lyra and the class president. The class president? I fake surprise. Ethan? I think that's his name, Nova answers, a little unsure. In the time we've been back, the homeroom teacher has nearly finished assigning the class officers. Since Ethan had been serving as discipline monitor and had just voluntarily covered for us, the homeroom teacher decided he was responsible and enthusiastic, and appointed him class president on the spot. Nova changes the subject at lightning speed, circling back to the morning's drama. I heard you got into it with the class president at the gate this morning. What happened? Nova doesn't think the mild-mannered class president would dare pick a fight with me. It had to be me starting it. Sure, I have a temper, but I'm not completely unreasonable. I wasn't in uniform. He insisted on writing my name down. I offered to do it for him and he got all worked up. What's the big deal? I put on my most innocent face. The corner of Nova's mouth twitches. Your way of being helpful is truly one of a kind. Good thing it's nothing serious. Nova quietly breathes a sigh of relief and is about to change the subject when I lean in and whisper something in her ear. What? You're going to chase after Lyra? Nova shoots to her feet, loud enough for the entire classroom to hear. The moment the words leave her mouth, the classroom goes dead silent. Every pair of eyes in the room snaps in our direction. I roll my eyes in disbelief. Could you be any louder? I do my best to ignore the stare coming from the window seats and yank Nova back down into her chair. So sorry, sir. Please continue. This is completely unacceptable. What do you think this classroom is? A fish market? The teacher's scolding is cut off by the bell. He walks to the door, book in hand, then stops. Lyra, come by my office. I need to have a word with you. Nova realizes she caused a mess, feeling the stares of classmates around her. She apologizes to me, clearly feeling guilty. You know how I am. I can't keep anything in. I wave it off. It's nothing. Besides, according to my current plan, I'm going to pursue Lyra loudly and openly anyway, given how well known both Lyra and I are on campus. This was going to get out sooner or later, might as well be sooner. The warning bell for second period has already rung, and Lyra still isn't back from the office. As a top candidate for the provincial academic title, she's probably getting a very earnest lecture right now. I know you're both adults, but Lyra slides into her seat on the very last ring of the bell. The English teacher walks in right behind her, a woman with a soft, pleasant voice and flawless delivery. Lyra sits perfectly straight, eyes on the board. 10 minutes pass. She hasn't taken in a single word. The homeroom teacher's words keep echoing in her head. Lyra, you need to understand. People come from different worlds. Don't throw everything away over a moment of impulse. Don't ruin the future you've worked so hard to build. Some people are born at the finish line, You're still running the race on your own. You two are parallel lines. Even if your paths cross for a moment, you'll only drift further apart. She understands this better than anyone, which is why she answered without hesitation, I won't, setting aside the fact that she has no feelings for me whatsoever. Even if she did feel something, she would never compromise her future for romance. She also knows that when a spoiled young master like me makes a big show of chasing someone, it's usually nothing more than the thrill of novelty. Someone who has never been turned down before, ego wounded, just refusing to accept it. The last period is PE. I sprawl out in the open-air bleachers and crunch through a popsicle loudly. A breeze carries the rubbery smell of the track, washing over me in waves. Jade, captain of the Year 2 basketball team, keeps glancing over in my direction. I arch an eyebrow, pleased with myself. This is the unstoppable charm of this young master. Nova comes back from the bathroom and walks past the group of Year 2 girls playing basketball. She deliberately slows her pace, putting on her most refined and polite manner. But the basketball captain doesn't spare her a single glance. Those bright, clear eyes stay locked on me. Nova drops back into the seat beside me, voice tinged with quiet resentment. A face that good-looking. I want one in my next life too. I pause mid-crunch and turn to meet Jade's gaze as she sneaks a look at me. In her flustered panic, she sends the ball flying straight into a teammate, then quickly looks away in embarrassment. I turn back to the dejected Nova. She's not bad-looking, but her basketball skills are terrible. I'd hate to be on her team. Oh, come on. You know exactly why she messed up that pass. Don't play dumb, Nova grumbles back, defending the captain without much conviction. Jade is actually amazing when she plays. She's won awards and tournaments. What award? First place in staring at cute guys. Adrian. I press my hand over my mouth, grinning, signaling I'll stop teasing. I nudge Nova to go offer Jade a bottle of water and get her number while she's at it. Nova's face turns red and she shakes her head repeatedly, saying she could never. I look at her, exasperated. What's there to be afraid of? Just say something nice and ask. On the way home after school, Nova asks how things went. I fill her in and mention that Lyra is unlike anyone else. Nova's expression goes odd after hearing it. She's in the class group chat. No way. She doesn't even have a phone. I pull out my phone as I say it. The group admin had asked everyone to update to their real names. And there it is, Lyra. My face twists with irritation. Nova takes one look at my expression, spots her family car pulling up and quickly says, Adrian, I'm heading out. See you tomorrow, and leaves me alone to stew. After dinner, I'm stretched out on a big soft bed. I find Lyra in the group chat and send her a friend request. She declines it outright. I bolt upright and send another. I refuse to give up. Across the city, Lyra is riding her bicycle. Tall and upright, her short hair lifted by the evening breeze, eyes cool and deep, she has the quiet air of someone who doesn't want to be approached. Her phone buzzes in her pocket, the screen flickering. She presses her lips together and pedals faster. The alley smells unpleasant and the walls are thin. Next door, someone is scolding a child. Further down, a couple is mid-argument. Lyra's expression stays completely unmoved. She parks her bicycle at the front door and locks it with practiced ease. She pulls out her key and opens the door. The small space comes into full view. The furniture is old. No matter how cleanly it's kept, the wear still shows through. Her phone keeps going off. Lyra frowns and takes it out to check. Then someone knocks at the door. A sharp, high-pitched woman's voice follows. Lyra, it's your aunt. I need to talk to you. Open the door. The knocking grows louder. A flicker of irritation crosses Lyra's eyes. Still, she turns and opens it. Her tall frame fills the doorway, blocking the middle-aged woman. Her voice is distant but polite. What is it, Auntie? I called you several times and you didn't pick up, the woman says, sharp-eyed and calculating. Your cousin's middle school entrance exam is next year. You know what Cora's grades are like. You need to help tutor her. I'm busy. Lyra has no warmth for this self-serving aunt of hers and turns her down flat. The woman's expression shifts the moment she hears it. What do you mean busy? You have the weekend off, don't you? Lyra's face stays flat. I work part-time. Ah, so that's it. The woman crosses her arms. The warmth from before has completely vanished. Here's what we'll do. It's not like I don't care about you. Tutor your cousin on weekend afternoons and I'll pay you. Fair enough? She makes it sound like she's doing Lyra a favor, when she's just asking for what she already feels entitled to. Lyra stands perfectly straight, silent for a moment, neither agreeing nor refusing. To the woman, that silence means yes. She turns and leaves with a dismissive air. The weekend arrives quickly. I go out of my way to track down the address. I find the two of them in the lounge area of a bubble tea shop, mid-tutoring session. Lyra wears the same cool expression as always. Cora sits across from her, visibly impatient, chewing the end of her pen over a test paper. So Lyra tutors people? Wasn't she supposed to be the antisocial loner with no friends? I'm quietly surprised. I thought she didn't get along with her aunt's family. I don't dwell on it. I walk straight into the shop and order a light fruit tea. I stroll up behind Cora and tap her on the shoulder. Excuse me, mind moving? I need this seat. Cora, who had been staring down that test paper like it owed her something, snaps her head up with a fierce look. Then she sees my face and swallows whatever she was about to say, going a little dazed. Sure. I ordered a milk tea. I tilt my chin up and hand the receipt to Cora like I'm doing her a favor. Go wait for it, bring it to me when it's ready. My eyes stay on Lyra the whole time. Her expression doesn't change. Cora's head clears a little. She realizes the good-looking guy isn't here for her, but she still can't bring herself to say no. She shoots her cousin a glare, and goes off to wait for the milk tea, clearly put out. I drag a chair to Lyra's side and drop into it. My hand reaches out and tugs at her pen. Lyra's fingers pause briefly, then she simply lets go and lets me take it. My smile grows a little wider. I push my luck and lean in closer, until we're practically breathing the same air. Lyra shoots to her feet. The chair scrapes loudly as she strides out of the shop. I hurry after her. She doesn't stop until we reach a quiet corner. She looks down at me, voice completely flat. I've said it before, I don't like you. I shrug, unbothered. So? I don't care who you like. I don't think I ever said I care about that. I look her dead in the eye. Lyra, I've decided I want you. You have to be with me. Lyra's face goes cold. I tilt my head back with full, unashamed entitlement. The spoiled rich kid act dialed up to maximum. Don't be ungrateful. My looks, my background, plenty of people beg for my attention and I turn them all down. You're the lucky one here. Lyra grabs my wrist hard and pins me against the wall. There's just enough space between us for one person. Go find whoever's begging for you. Your looks, your family's power, none of that matters to me. She drops my hand coldly and heads back inside to pack up. Cora carries the milk tea over carefully. She sees Lyra return and looks past her. No sign of the guy she was hoping for. She's about to ask, then Lyra's dark mood hits her like a wall. What happened? Where'd the cute guy go? And what am I supposed to do with this milk tea? Cora is still trying to piece things together. When Lyra starts to wheel out her bicycle to leave, Cora finally blurts it out. Is he coming back tomorrow for the tutoring session? Who he refers to needs no explanation. Lyra's gaze is midwinter cold. My notes are in the book. There won't be any more tutoring sessions. What do you mean? Cora panics. You said yes to my mom. You took the tutoring money. Lyra doesn't know what version of events her aunt told Cora, and she doesn't care. I didn't agree to anything. I came today to give you the notes. That's all I can do. The words land like a line being drawn. Cora flares up immediately. You think some lousy notes cancel out all those years you lived and ate at our house? No wonder my mom says you're cold-blooded. Lyra had been turning to leave, but stops and looks back, gaze calm and cold. The compensation money from my parents' death. Did your family spend it comfortably? It sounds almost casual, but Cora goes completely still with shock. Slender, pale fingers wave impatiently in front of her face. She snaps back to reality. It's the guy she's been thinking about. Where's Lyra? I ask before she can say anything. I look around, irritated. Cora hesitates, her expression cycling through several things at once. She left. Gone again. What, does she have rocket-powered legs? I gripe to myself. Then something occurs to me. My expression softens slightly as I turn to Cora. You're Lyra's cousin. You must know her pretty well, right? Cora hesitates, weighing whether to deny it. I try my luck. Do you know what type she's into? Has she ever mentioned anyone to you? Pfft, how boring. Ethan's name doesn't come up, and I feel a small, unexpected twinge of disappointment. You at least know where she lives, right? Yeah. I get the address out of Cora and a new plan takes shape. She blocked my account, so I switch to another and send a new request. This time she accepts, but every message I send disappears into silence. Looks like Lyra genuinely can't stand me. I give up on messaging and start filling out shipping forms instead. I'm sending her things. A watch worth over 100,000 limited edition sneakers at over 10,000 custom couture pieces. Anything I think suits her. I buy it all and have it delivered straight to her door. That's just how the villain's second lead expresses love. Extravagant and completely shameless about it. Under this overwhelming pursuit, just 3 days pass. Before Lyra moves into the school dorms and sends every gift back, unopened, I stare at the untouched packages. She really doesn't know a good thing when she sees it. She's impossible to get through to, heart of absolute stone, completely unmovable. I've always been spoiled, and when I pursue someone, I do it loudly. Within days, the news has swept the whole school. The rich young master is chasing after a broke student. Ethan chews his lower lip, distractedly jabbing at his textbook with his pen. Lyra beside him seems the same as always. No noticeable change. The bell rings clearly, and he finally can't hold it in. I heard Adrian is chasing you. Lyra's brow twitches slightly. Her voice is neutral. Not sure. She doesn't seem to care, but Ethan feels a quiet heaviness settle inside him. He wants to ask whether she could ever like Adrian, but feels he has no right to, and the thought only makes him feel worse. But then he remembers that Lyra has moved into the dorms, and a quiet happiness stirs. Want to grab dinner together at the canteen? His handsome face flushes slightly as he adds, I'm a boarder too. I can show you the good stuff. No need. Lyra seems not to notice him, her eyes politely distant as she declines. She has taken the evening off, not to push him away but because she genuinely has things to take care of. Ethan's expression softens a little, and he gives a gentle smile. Alright, let's go together next time then. Seeing me stride over, Lyra's eyes flicker for a moment. The refusal that forms on her lips goes unspoken. She swallows it back down. Sure, next time. Her tone is remarkably gentle, nothing like the indifference she shows toward me. Before Ethan even has time to feel happy about it, the desk is slapped hard, followed immediately by my furious voice. What do you mean, sure? Lyra, if you won't be with me, is it because of this broke kid? Here we go. After all these days, I'm back to playing the classic villain bullying the protagonist scene. Look at how pale Ethan's face has gone. If I were a girl, I'd probably feel for him too. I really am quite the villain. Ethan's eyes start to redden slightly. I keep going with a contemptuous, dismissive glare, shamelessly relentless. So you're Ethan, huh? What gives you the right to compete with me? I'm as proud as a little peacock, handsome and impossibly refined. Yet the words that come out of my mouth are purely cruel. What, are you mute? Lyra, I'm asking you, what exactly did you just agree to with him? What is your relationship with him anyway? How come when I ask you out you won't go? But when he asks, you say yes? My accusations drone on and on in her ear, enough to make anyone's ears ache. Curious onlookers begin to turn and stare. The irritation inside Lyra grows even stronger. She snaps at me in a cold, sharp voice. Adrian, are you done causing a scene? I'm caught completely off guard by her words and freeze on the spot. Ethan bites his lip hard, his eyes glistening with a faint sheen of tears, staring at me with a forced show of strength. Adrian, I'll admit, I can't match you in family background or looks, but when it comes to character and upbringing, you might not be able to match me. Thinking of how Lyra has stood up for him, Ethan finds the confidence to speak up. Whatever my relationship with her is, that's none of your business. And the contents of our conversations are not something you need to know either. A wave of mocking sounds rises from the crowd around us, mixed with laughing whispers and commentary. I'm so angry my eyes go red, but I absolutely refuse to back down in terms of presence. Lyra, is this what you really think too? Lyra seems to pause for a moment. Her voice remains as neutral as ever. And if I say yes, in front of everyone, I'm utterly humiliated. I don't even bother pretending to go to class. I skip straight over the wall. At a roadside spicy hot pot stall, I plop down on a little stool and shout in a big voice, "Extra spicy, extra numbing." You got it, the owner calls back without hesitation. I happily crack open a can of cola and take a big gulp of the ice-cold fizz. Skipping class to eat spicy hot pot, honestly, this feels amazing. There's not a trace of sadness on my face. I shovel mouthful after mouthful of noodles slathered in sesame paste, eyes squinting with contentment. The owner is generous. He's loaded the thing with chili. I eat until my eyes water and the tip of my nose turns red. I look up and nearly jump out of my skin. Someone is sitting across from me. Everyone knows how awful it is to choke on something spicy. I cough so hard that tears stream down my face. The person across from me quickly hands me a bottle of mineral water, unscrews the cap, and places it in my hand. The girl's voice can't hide her nervousness. "Are you okay? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to startle you." It's none other than Jade, the year 12 senior who fell for me at first sight. She says apologetically, "You were eating so intently that I just sat down without thinking. I didn't expect such a reaction. Turns out you just scare easily." I shoot her a fierce glare, but my eyes are still shimmering with tears. My glistening dough-like eyes carry no threat whatsoever. If anything, the glare just looks kind of pleasant. Caught in the gaze of those eyes, Jade can't help but feel her heart beat faster. Her gaze starts to wander. "You, don't look at me like that." "What? You interrupt my rare moment of enjoying food, and I can't even glare at you in protest?" I ask bluntly. "Who are you? Do I even know you?" Only then does Jade realize she hasn't introduced herself. "I'm from year 12, class 8. We had PE together last time." She reaches out a hand in a friendly, warm gesture. "You may not know me, but I know you. My name is Jade, and what does that have to do with me?" I give a barely audible hum, making no move to shake her hand. Jade awkwardly withdraws her hand and starts looking for something to talk about. "Little Adrian, it's class time right now. Why are you out here?" She finishes and meets my utterly unimpressed expression, then awkwardly adds as an afterthought, "Can I call you that?" No, Jade doesn't feel offended at all. She actually finds my dead serious refusal incredibly charming. She asks again with concern why I haven't gone to class. I'm getting a little annoyed. "Aren't you skipping class too?" "I got a leave of absence," Jade answers honestly. In truth, she saw me slip away and followed me out. I have no interest in why she's here. My indifference leaves her at a loss, but she's sociable enough to quickly find a new topic. She's something of a well-known figure at school. She knows a lot of people and a lot of gossip. I originally have no intention of chatting much with her, but she manages to pique my curiosity anyway. "Crescent Hill? Does our school really have a place like that? The dean hasn't shut it down?" Of course he's tried to crack down on early romance. The discipline monitor goes to Crescent Hill right after evening study and catches people there. Flashlights swinging all over the place. Seeing my interest, Jade gets more and more animated and starts painting in the details. I tease, "Sounds like you know this from experience." "Of course not," Jade quickly protests. "I heard it from someone else. Why would I ever go somewhere like that?" Seeing the disbelief all over my face, Jade starts to panic a little, afraid her image as a gentle senior is ruined. Her eyes shift slightly as something occurs to her. "Actually, my friend told me yesterday they saw Lyra at Crescent Hill." "Lyra?" My hand holding the chopsticks goes still. "Yeah, her." Jade's tone takes on a strange edge. "Apparently there was a fairly good-looking guy with her at the time, probably her boyfriend. It's pitch black out there. Who could make out anyone's face?" Jade is making this part up. She just wants to make me angry and make me give up on Lyra for good. But Lyra going to Crescent Hill is real, so she isn't completely lying. Sure enough, my expression shifts immediately. I forget about the hot pot entirely and ask through gritted teeth, "Was that guy Ethan?" "Who's Ethan?" Jade hasn't heard the name. But seeing how angry I am, she knows it's not a simple matter, so she gives a non-committal answer. "From what my friend said, it sounds like it might be." With a bang, I slap the table and stand up, storming toward the door. Jade snaps out of it, only to realize the seat across from her is already empty. She jumps up quickly to chase after me. She barely makes it to the entrance when the shop owner stops her. "You two haven't paid yet." "Paid for what?" Jade looks completely lost. The owner says impatiently, "Your food. 43 yuan total." Under the owner's suspicious gaze, Jade's face turns completely red. She hurriedly pulls out her phone to scan the payment code. By the time this brief delay is over, there's no sign of me anywhere. Watching Jade walk away in disappointment, I stroll out from where I've been hiding around the corner. She's the one who interrupted my meal. Paying the bill counts as her apology. I feel absolutely no guilt. I mull it over in my head. Was she deliberately making up romantic rumors about Lyra in front of me? I feel like I figured it out. Tisk tisk tisk. The little schemes women play. I take out my phone, tap around, and find Lyra's number. By any normal logic, upon learning she went to Crescent Hill with a guy late at night, I'd have to do something. That's what the character calls for. I dial the call as a matter of course. It rings several times, no one picks up. I check the time. It's nearly midnight. She's not in class right now. Lyra is definitely ignoring my calls on purpose. A top student like her definitely doesn't bring her phone to school, but I know she works a part-time job at a bar. Quite the lively nightlife for a top student. She doesn't pick up, so I keep calling persistently. On the 5th call it finally connects, but no one speaks. I'm certain it's been answered, and immediately demand loudly, "Lyra, where were you last night?" "None of your business." I pretend not to notice her cold tone. "You don't have to say it, I already know. It was Ethan, right?" "Lyra, your taste is really terrible. You'd rather give up a wealthy, well-bred young man like me for some broke guy?" By this point, Lyra already understands what I've misunderstood. It's so meaningless, so absurd that she doesn't even feel like explaining. Her silence I take as confirmation. I grind my teeth and threaten, I won't let him off. The call disconnects abruptly. My final furious threat seems to still echo in the air. Lyra's expression goes dark. After a long silence, she slowly rises and walks along the charming old Lane Street. I finish the squid skewer in my hand and give my hands a casual clap. I haven't reached my destination yet, I think to myself. Why am I suddenly heading to Ethan's house? What am I up to? Obviously, fulfilling my role as the villainous second male lead. Right now I'm completely set on winning, treating Lyra as already mine. Ethan is clearly competing with me for her, competing for the woman I like. Naturally, I have to do what a villain's second lead is supposed to do. Might as well get ahead of the plot. Have an early accidental encounter with the female side character Serena. I stop in my tracks, space out for a moment, and turn my head to look to the side. A pretty calico cat is sprawled out on a wooden step, meowing away. A young woman walks out of the shop. She clears her throat, feigning annoyance. "What's all the meowing about? You're getting too big for your boots." The calico lets out a single meow. The young woman is completely speechless. I can't hold back a laugh. Serena is the girl next door to Ethan, secretly an illegitimate daughter of a wealthy family. She hides away here, keeping a low profile, having fallen for his kind and gentle soul. But Ethan already has someone he likes. She can only step back in silence, and instead works to protect his love. To make Ethan happy, she returns to the wealthy family, schemes to bankrupt my family, and rescues Lyra from my forced affection. I applaud in genuine awe at this grand, selfless view of love. In my arrogant tone I say, "Hey, I need to ask about someone." Serena gives an almost imperceptible frown, holding the calico cat as she turns to look over. Against the blue-gray walls, wisteria blooms in wild abandon. I stand beneath the flowers, my hair cropped short and clean. My fine features carry a hint of youthful rawness, enough to hint at the handsome man I'll become. She pauses for just a moment before returning to her usual composure. "I don't really know the people around here. You can ask someone else." I couldn't care less what she says. "Do you know Ethan? He lives around here." At this point, Serena doesn't have feelings for Ethan yet. She just sees him as a younger brother. Through me, she learns that Ethan has been close with another girl. That girl's name is Lyra. Serena's expression doesn't change. "Are you his classmate?" Without any awkwardness, I say, "Yes. I know he boards at school, just tell me where his house is." My intentions are obviously not good. Serena's expression cools. "I'm sorry, I have nothing to tell you." I hear this and get irritated. I'm still only 16 or 17. No matter how spoiled and overbearing I am, I still have some pride. "Fine, don't tell me. There's more than one shop here." I walk into another shop. The shopkeeper, seeing a good-looking young man, cheerfully tells me. They even come out to point me in the right direction. Serena is still standing on the steps. Before I leave, I raise an eyebrow triumphantly. The message is clear. You didn't tell me, but someone else did. I toss my head and leave. I pass through a quiet little alley and stop in front of a house. The small, flat-roofed house has seen better days. A wooden red door with flowers blooming brightly on both sides. You can tell the owner takes good care of it. Someone who loves life. This isn't what I expected. I'm just about to knock when the door opens from the inside. A middle-aged woman, not yet 40, who raised her son alone, her delicate face lined with the marks of time. Ethan looks a lot like her. I've come straight from school and I'm still in my school uniform. The school badge on one side is clearly visible. It's school hours, yet a fellow student has shown up at the house. The woman's face is full of confusion, with an undercurrent of anxiety. "Are you a classmate of Ethan's? Did something happen to my Ethan at school?" I shake my head. "No, I'm an orphan. I've never experienced parental love. Because I've never had it, I don't really understand it." The worry on the woman's face is too obvious to ignore. For a moment, a strange feeling passes through me, and the harsh words I came to say simply won't come out. Hearing that her son is safe, the woman lets out a sigh of relief. Still puzzled, she asks, "Then you're here because—" I make something up on the spot. "Wrong house." The woman looks at me with suspicion. "You walked to someone's front door by mistake?" If I explain any further, my whole image will fall apart. I give an awkward laugh. Before I've decided whether to just leave, the corner of my eye catches a figure striding down the far end of the path. That Lyra would track me down here. This I didn't expect. I walk behind Lyra. My feelings shift from initial surprise to anger. Lyra is tall and aloof, completely indifferent to how I feel. Her pace is incredibly fast. Even at a light jog, I can barely keep up. Frustrated, I simply squat down where I stand. Both anxious and furious, I shout, "Lyra, stop right there." Lyra stops. She turns slightly to the side. Her icy gaze lands on me. I refuse to back down, stubbornly staring back at her until my eyes start to ache. Only then does Lyra saunter over, looking down at me where I'm crouched. "Are you going or not?" Her voice is completely flat. No, pull me up. I bluntly stick out my hand, just as willful as when I made Lyra help me to the nurse's office the other day. Lyra tugs the corner of her mouth slightly. Both hands hang motionless at her sides. She has absolutely no intention of pulling me up. My legs have gone numb from squatting. Feeling a bit sorry for myself, I stand up on my own. We face each other. Lyra completely ignores me as I rub my aching legs. Had enough fun, young master? I pause for just a moment. Clearly, she thinks I came today to cause trouble for Ethan. That is, in fact, the case, though I haven't actually done anything bad, but she doesn't need to know that. Not quite. Today was just a warning. I step up in front of Lyra. I look up, fixing my gaze on her cool, distant face. Something stirs in my chest. Lyra, you want to protect him? Fine, then be with me. I deliver the threat with an outwardly calm face, but the palm of my hand at my side has gone damp with nerves. Lyra stares at me in silence, her dark eyes seeming impossibly deep. Hearing words this coercive, she doesn't show the slightest sign of embarrassment. I feel inexplicably uneasy, forcing myself to hold her gaze. Without even realizing it myself, a kind of pleading look has crept into my eyes. I repeat myself, be with me, and I'll leave him alone. What an unreasonable thing to say. I almost want to slap myself. Go be a pair of wandering lovebirds, I think to myself wickedly. On one side, a wealthy and powerful young master. On the other, an orphan with no background. Faced with this threat, she's silent for a long time. I'm almost expecting her to hit me. Then Lyra's lips slowly curve upward. Alright. I pretend not to see the bone-chilling coldness deep in her eyes. Hearing this, I feel both happy and jealous at the same time. I can't help but say, didn't expect you to care about him this much. Without waiting for Lyra to respond, I start reasoning with myself. But it doesn't matter. Starting today, you're my girlfriend. No talking to him anymore and no protecting him either. What I want is Lyra herself. I'm convinced that with my looks and family background, any normal woman would fall for me. This brainless confidence seals my fate in the story. A second lead is always a second lead. The female lead's choice will always be the male lead. That's just how the protagonist's halo works. I let out a sigh, hoping only to get through this arc quickly so the two leads can live happily ever after. News of Lyra and me dating spreads through the entire school in no time. Within a single morning, my phone is flooded with messages. Close friends all reach out to ask me about it. Celeste alone calls me over a dozen times. I'm so fed up I block her immediately. Nova watches me make no effort to hide my smug little grin and sighs for the 8th time today. A forced melon is never sweet, Adrian. It's not too late to turn back. Just look at Lyra. 3 feet of ice. That expression of total indifference. Nothing about her looks like someone who likes you. And yet there I am, acting completely unbothered, completely one-sided in my enthusiasm, rushing to her seat the moment class ends. I managed to exercise a little restraint. Want to get lunch together? There's a new Chinese restaurant that opened on Jinjiang Road. Should be pretty good. Lyra keeps writing without pausing, without even looking up. No. My brow furrows slightly. Why? I stand there stubbornly, insisting on an answer. Lyra finally glances up, her tone completely flat. I'm eating at the school cafeteria. She gives a faint smile. If you want to come to the cafeteria, I don't mind. The school cafeteria food isn't exactly terrible, but it's definitely not good either. Its one advantage is price, cheap and filling. Anyone with a bit of money orders takeout or goes off campus to eat, let alone a young master like me, who probably doesn't even know what the cafeteria looks like. Lyra is doing this on purpose. She doesn't believe I would put myself through the indignity of eating at the cafeteria with her. Having said her piece, she drops her gaze, collects her papers, stands up and walks around me toward the door. Ethan glances at me standing there, torn. He heard from his mother that a classmate came to their house looking for him. From his mother's description, he's certain that person was me. Why did I go to his home? Why is Lyra with me? Ethan is sharp. He can't help but piece together an answer. His stare is too obvious to ignore. I shoot him a fierce glare. What are you looking at? Ethan's face goes pale for a moment, but that answer he's pieced together gives him a little backbone. Adrian, Lyra doesn't like you at all. I feel no guilt whatsoever. She doesn't like me, so she likes you instead. In front of others, I'm all claws and bluster, arrogant and aggressive. She's my girlfriend now. We both know how things really stand, Ethan says, biting his teeth, his gaze toward me unable to hide his disgust. I'm the one who dragged her into this. You used me to threaten her into being with you, didn't you? I raise an eyebrow. Oh? You know about that too. Lyra really does tell you everything, doesn't she? Inside, I'm completely unbothered. On the outside, I put on a show of being furious, pointing at Ethan and pretending to be at a loss for words. I think to myself, so it begins. Time to teach him a lesson. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Nova running over. Only then do I raise my hand in a show of pushing him. Nova grabs my hand. Adrian, come on, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I let out a quiet sigh of relief, then continue making a show of raising my hand a few more times, muttering and cursing. Don't stop me. Today I'm going to... Nova pulls me along. Okay. I'm not stopping you. Let's just go eat first. Her voice gradually fades as she drags me away. Ethan still hasn't quite come to his senses. When he does, he feels a belated fright, his delicate face going even paler. Only once we're far enough from the classroom does Nova dare let go. She feels like someone's nagging mother. Nova looks a little helpless. Young master, wait. What did he say to make you this angry? I turn my face away and say nothing. I feel embarrassed. Nova sees this and sighs again. Fine. Don't want to talk, then don't. At least come eat first. At the mention of food, I pause for 2 seconds. I want to try the cafeteria today. The cafeteria is in the middle of the lunch rush. A few girls murmur among themselves, occasionally glancing toward one direction. A few minutes later, a boy walks over carrying a tray. smiling somewhat shyly. Hey, mind if I sit here? The cafeteria is a public space. Lyra gives an almost imperceptible frown, politely distant. Suit yourself. The table is small. The boy sits right beside her, close enough that Lyra can even smell the unfamiliar cologne. She speeds up her eating. I take all of this in. Nova is picky about food and didn't come to the cafeteria with me. It takes me a while to find Lyra. I grab a random plate of food and walk over, sitting down across from Lyra. My tray hits the table with a loud thud. The boy startles, and when he sees who it is, a flicker of panic crosses his face. I give a smile that doesn't reach my eyes. Not leaving yet? Planning to sit here and be a third wheel? The boy awkwardly hugs his tray and scurries away. My expression brightens. I stare at the greasy fried noodles and complain. Lyra, maybe next time we should just eat outside. Before the words are even out of my mouth, Lyra suddenly stands up across from me. Tall and poised, expression utterly indifferent. I'm done eating. Without waiting for my response, she turns and heads out. I abandon my fried noodles and jog to catch up, but I'm not watching where I'm going and my shin crashes right into a table leg. The sudden blunt pain drains the color from my face and I double over. Just above my ankle, a red welt swells up at a visible rate. My skin is fair, which makes the redness even more striking. Lyra's gaze moves to my ankle, then to my eyes, brimming with tears. Feeling her watching me, I give an aggrieved sniffle. My hand rubs the swollen, reddened ankle. It was already red to begin with. Rubbing it only makes the swelling worse. I grumble to myself, she's a block of wood. Under my pleading gaze, Lyra turns and leaves, abandoning me with my injured ankle. My eyes drop downward, giving me an inexplicably pitiful look. For the whole afternoon, that swollen red ankle keeps coming to mind. When the last class ends, students file out one after another. Lyra returns to the classroom after helping the teacher deliver some homework and finds I'm still there. The classroom window is open, the fan whirring away. I'm sprawled on my desk asleep, the hair at my forehead stirred by the gentle breeze. Lyra looks away, but her peripheral vision drifts to my ankle. The red mark hasn't faded at all. If anything, it's turned bluish, standing out starkly against my fair skin. No ointment has been applied. In the few seconds she spaces out, I have already woken up, eyes shimmering faintly. Out in the hallway, my forehead bumps into Lyra's slender back. I don't know when Lyra stopped. Why are you following me? The words come out before I can stop them. It's a date. After saying it, I feel a little embarrassed and try to cover it up. Couples go on dates, you know. Lyra's tone is unreadable. You certainly know a lot. An inexplicable competitive streak flares up in me. Of course. I told you before. There are a lot of people who like me. Lyra gives a faint, unreadable laugh. Impressive. Don't think I can't tell. That tone is completely sarcastic. Lyra stands at the bus stop. In her peripheral vision, I can't take the exhaustion anymore and crouch down, curling into a small heap. Her fingertips tighten on her phone for a moment, then after a pause, she opens it. A few minutes later, a taxi pulls up to the curb. I glance over with envy. If only it were here for me. Lyra is broke and stingy with me too. She probably won't even spot me 2 yuan for the bus, let alone a cab. I lower my head with a quiet sense of grievance, thinking to myself, I'm really something. Putting myself through all this for love. The next second, the taxi door opens. Lyra walks up to it and holds the door. I'm still looking down. She furrows her brow, her tone impatient. Young master, what are you still crouching there for? I look up. Oh wow. Dream come true. I stand up too fast and nearly topple over. I barely steady myself and hurry into the car, as if afraid Lyra will change her mind. She quietly lowers the hand she'd been holding the door with and gets in after me. On the way, I rattle off several places on my own. All just heard from friends. So-called perfect date spots. Lyra keeps her eyes closed the entire time, says nothing, and gets out of the car. I finally understand why she was so calm. The taxi's destination had already been set. Staring at the familiar place in front of me, I twitch the corner of my mouth. You brought me here for a date? I can hardly believe Lyra has brought me to Club Dark Star. If it were anyone else, I'd definitely suspect ulterior motives, like they were trying to take advantage of me. But even if it's Lyra, that suspicion can't entirely be ruled out. Lyra counters plainly. You followed on your own. This isn't a date. I give in helplessly. Fine. It's my fault for being so shameless about following you. So why are you here? Lyra says calmly, work. I instinctively glance at the corner of her mouth. The bruise has faded. No trace of the injury remains. Lyra seems to sense this and presses a finger lightly to the corner of her mouth. I feel a little less confident now. Then why didn't you say so? Lyra glances at me. Would it have made a difference? The implication is clear. Would you have not followed me? I'm left speechless. She's got me completely figured out. Even if Lyra had told me, I would have followed anyway. My current image is that of a shameless, clingy nuisance. Lyra goes in to change, and the female manager of Club Dark Star comes over. She's holding a report in her hands. She sees who's sitting on the sofa and nearly jumps out of her skin. Why is young Master Adrian sitting here? Let me check on Miss Celeste's private room for you. She assumes I'm here for Celeste. I glance toward the lounge. No need, not interested. The manager can't quite read the situation and is about to ask something more. My previously listless eyes suddenly brighten. My mouth curves into a smile too. Following my line of sight, she sees none other than the cool and otherworldly Lyra. She's changed into a white dress shirt and black trousers, the last traces of youthfulness shed, like a tall, upright poplar tree. The manager's eyes go wide. She looks at me, then at Lyra. She lowers her voice. What's going on? Lyra pauses slightly in the act of rolling up her cuffs. Nothing. Just pretend he doesn't exist. The manager is stunned. Pretend he doesn't exist? Who exactly do you think this is? The manager says through gritted teeth. Don't forget what happened to you not long ago. She's worked at this bar for many years. She's seen plenty of people tangled up over feelings. She never expected someone as composed as Lyra to be so muddled about this. Lyra says without any particular feeling, I haven't forgotten. The manager doesn't want a prize, so she says a few more words and leaves. During the 2 hours that Lyra is working, I eat 3 plates of fruit and order delivery to the bar twice. I'm very picky about food. I take 2 bites of the crab roe noodles and declare it too rich, then push the bowl insistently toward Lyra. Lyra ignores me, so I deliberately threaten to file a complaint. For the 3rd time, I issue a threat. If you don't eat this, I'll have the manager fire you. Hearing this, Lyra's expression darkens. She picks up the chopsticks, lifts some of the now lukewarm crab roe noodles, and eats them without any expression. Her movements are mechanical and brisk, no different from eating a plain steamed bun. She's just completing a task. Once the ice is broken, the rest flows naturally. Blueberries, cherry tomatoes, chicken congee, whatever I offer, she eats. I doze off for a bit, and when I wake up, Lyra is gone. I'm just about to ask around when she walks back in from outside. She's already changed out of her work uniform. In her hand is a plastic bag. The moment she catches me looking, Lyra tucks the bag behind her back. Why didn't you wake me when your shift ended? I don't catch her little move, but I can't help complaining. Lyra's voice is flat. Forgot. How do you forget that? Why don't you just forget yourself while you're at it? Am I really that invisible to you? The frustration I've been swallowing all day finally boils over. I put my head down and stride ahead, not caring whether Lyra follows. She definitely hasn't followed. She's probably glad to see me go. I feel a hollow kind of defeat, hurt, and quietly disappointed. A dead sycamore leaf drifts down from the roadside tree. I stomp on it like I'm taking out my anger. It's not enough. I lift my foot to stomp again. That familiar, cool voice rises behind me. What did the leaf ever do to you? I turn my face to the side, refusing to look at her. A moment passes, nothing but silence behind me. Lyra has never had patience for me. Has she actually left? I turn back anxiously and meet the steady calm of her gaze. She hasn't left. A quiet warmth blooms in my chest, but my mouth has other ideas. Yeah, you're tall. What are you showing off for? Lyra steps closer, a hint of mockery in her voice. Jealous? My eyes go wide. I can't believe she just said that. The nerve of her. At 5'10", I'm not exactly short among guys, but I still have to tilt my head up to glare at her properly. I feel personally insulted. I kick the pile of crushed leaves at her feet. They scatter across her faded sneakers. I toss my head sharply and storm off in a huff. The loose strands of hair at my forehead lift in the breeze and brush lightly across her chin. An inexplicable tingle grazes her chin. Her eyes narrow slightly. She doesn't reach up to touch it. Back home, I'm still venting about Lyra, a girl who's straight as a plank. The way she talks could drive anyone up the wall. Then I finish and notice how quiet it is. I think back carefully. Ever since Lyra and I made things official, my mind has stopped wandering into dark places. Strange. I toss my backpack aside, then reach in to grab something. My fingers close around a plastic bag. What's this? I pull it out, genuinely puzzled. An anti-inflammatory spray sitting quietly inside the bag. I grip the bottle tight and freeze. A dull ache pulses through my ankle. I know for certain I never bought this. So who put it there? My mind flashes back. The entrance of Club Dark Star and the plastic bag Lyra had tucked behind her back. The spray works well. The swelling around my ankle fades completely. For reasons I can't quite explain, I never bring it up with her. The spray might as well have appeared out of thin air. Things between us stay just as cold. As long as I don't make the first move, she won't say a single word to me. And sometimes even when I do, she ignores me. After a quiet drizzle, the city turns cold overnight. People on the streets bundle up in thick coats. Days drift by, one after another. Quiet, unremarkable, long enough that I almost forget what came before. One day I'm sitting in physics class, chin propped on my hand, barely listening, when a thought hits me out of nowhere. My birthday is almost here. I sit up straight at once. Knowing Lyra's personality, she'll probably treat me like I don't exist. Again. In the library, I sit across from her, staring at her with my best puppy dog look. What kind of cake do you like? Lyra doesn't answer. She pulls out a test paper and keeps writing, unbothered. Fruit, chocolate, yogurt. I snatch her black pen right out of her hand and pout. Talk to me. Lyra finally looks up. She curls her finger and taps deliberately on the keep quiet sign on the table. I manage about 2 seconds of silence before I can't help myself. Don't bother getting me a gift. I know I won't like whatever you pick. What gift? I huff at her. My birthday is in 3 days. A flicker of surprise crosses Lyra's eyes, but it vanishes just as fast, replaced by her usual coolness. She gives a single, one syllable. That's all I get. I'm so annoyed I leave on the spot. Lyra is left alone at the table, staring at her test paper, lost in whatever thoughts she keeps to herself. The next day in class, she overhears classmates talking. They're debating what to get me for my birthday. Some even come straight up to ask me. I glance pointedly toward a certain corner of the room and raise my voice on purpose. Honestly, there's quite a lot I like. It's the thought that counts, not the price tag. Just showing up is enough. No way, we're definitely surprising the young master. A few classmates around me chime in, laughing. The classroom erupts into noise. Ethan quietly looks away, masking the complicated feelings in his eyes. The bitterness rising in his chest is impossible to suppress. He turns to the person beside him and lowers his voice. Lyra, are you going to Adrian's birthday? Lyra's expression doesn't shift. Not sure. Ethan looks confused. She adds without much feeling, if I'm free. That's not the answer Ethan was hoping for. He feels a quiet deflation. I see. 3 days come and go in a blink. My birthday party takes over the entire South Bank Hall. The whole thing is enormous. I've invited the entire class, plus friends from our social circle. Friends bring their friends. Some show up with their partners. People I know, people I barely know. They all come. 10 minutes in, and the gifts are already piled into a mountain. Nova has been saving her allowance for a whole month to buy me a limited edition crystal bracelet. Happy birthday, Adrian! I smile absently and reach out to take it. Thanks, Nova. What's wrong? It's your birthday and you're not even happy? Nova stares at me, baffled. I don't answer. My eyes keep drifting toward the entrance. Nova scans the room and figures it out immediately. Lyra isn't here. Nova's brow furrows. She's not happy about this. Nova had been against it from the very beginning, from the moment Lyra and I got together, and watching everything unfold since then has only confirmed it. Lyra is cold through and through. Adrian is practically throwing himself at someone who doesn't care, and now this. His girlfriend can't even be bothered to show up on his birthday. What kind of girlfriend does that? Nova thinks it, and Nova says it. Exactly. Lyra just doesn't cut it. Deep down, I completely agree. On the surface, I act like she's poking at a wound. With Lyra not showing up, I can't save face if I admit I care. Who's waiting for her? She can come or not, I don't care. Someone inside the room shouts for me to come cut the cake. I steal one last look toward the door. Still no sign of her. Fine. If she won't come, she won't come. I don't need her here. I exhale slowly, forcing the ache down, and turn to cut the cake. At Club Darkstar, the female manager transfers Lyra's pay and makes small talk. How come you asked to clock out early today? Lyra pockets her phone. Something came up. Then go. The manager waves her off. Make up the hours when you're back. Sure. Lyra rides her bike through the busy street, glances down at the time, and pedals faster. The cold wind lifts the short hair across her forehead. It reveals the cool, clean lines of her face. The tips of her ears are flush pink from the cold. Her bike slows to a stop in front of a brightly lit accessories shop. Lyra studies the shop for a moment, then steps inside. Can I help you? The young male sales assistant is visibly caught off guard by her looks. A few seconds later, a faint blush creeps up his face. Lyra's gaze sweeps over the bracelets, drifts to the necklaces, and finally settles on one. Adrian, I don't even know what you like. I just think this one would suit you. Happy birthday. Jade holds out a neatly wrapped gift. She's clearly made an effort today. Hair done up, dressed to impress. She looks noticeably more mature. I never actually invited her. But you don't turn away someone who's smiling and bearing gifts, I think to myself. Thank you. Jade's smile grows softer. Don't mention it, as long as you like it. We're chatting away, having a good time, when someone nearby clearly reaches their limit. A good-looking guy and a pretty girl, standing a little too close. Celeste's friend grabs her arm and pulls her aside, whispering urgently. Today is Adrian's birthday. If you start something at his own party, he might never talk to you again. Celeste is seething. Watching Jade fawn over me, something snaps in Celeste's mind. She's been on my blacklist since the day I went public with my relationship, and she's still there. Could this be my new girlfriend? Birthday boy, get over here. We're playing a game. Someone shouts from across the room. The room is big enough for everything. People singing up front, others dancing on the side. A dozen or so people have formed a circle in the middle, an empty bottle in the center. Jay doesn't waste the chance to stick close to me as we walk over. What are we playing? A girl's voice cuts in, dripping with attitude. Truth or dare, you in or scared? The hostility in her tone is unmistakable. Jade looks over, a complete stranger, but then she notices where this girl's eyes keep landing, on me, and she understands exactly where the hostility is coming from. I glance at Jade, then at Celeste standing nearby. I keep my face completely neutral, but inside I'm dying. This is what it means to be the young master. I don't have to say a word, and two girls are already competing over me. I never walk away from a good show. I let Jade take the seat next to me. Celeste isn't about to be outdone. She swaps seats with someone and plants herself on my other side. Now the scene is really something. Me in the middle. One side sweet and bubbly, the other edgy and bold. There's a brief moment of silence around us before the noise picks back up. This is a total drama fest, and I am here for every bite. Especially when you throw truth or dare into the mix. Twice as entertaining. Come on, I'll spin the bottle. Nova volunteers for the job with great enthusiasm. She winks at me. I find this absolutely hilarious, but on the outside, I play it distracted and gloomy, like my mind is somewhere else, on someone else. Celeste's luck is awful. The bottle lands on her first spin. Truth or dare? Nova asks loudly, staring her down. Truth, Celeste says. Is there someone here you have feelings for? Celeste answers without missing a beat. Yes. A collective "oh" goes around the circle, and every single head turns my way. But I'm staring blankly at my phone, completely checked out. Celeste's face darkens instantly. A few more rounds go by. The bottle never lands on me. The room is well heated, and I'm starting to feel stuffy. I announce I'm stepping out for air, ignore the chatter around me, and push open the door. The room opens into a long hallway. At the far end is an open-air terrace. From here, I can look out over half the city at night. Neon signs pulse and flicker. The streets below are a web of blazing headlights. I close my eyes for a moment and let the cold wind hit my face. Inside, I'm still. Not even a ripple. Footsteps rise behind me. I open my eyes slowly and press every complicated feeling back down, back to being Adrian. The person steps up beside me, carrying a faint trace of alcohol. Did Celeste pour drinks down your throat? Jade nods with a wounded look. Kind of. I didn't want to drink, but your friend wouldn't let me leave. I haven't done anything to her. Why does she have it out for me like that? She's not my friend. I don't play along with her script, but Jade presses on. Adrian, do you know why she's targeting me? Not interested. It's not that I don't know, it's that I don't care. That stings. Not being able to steer this the way she planned leaves Jade with a deep, unsettling sense that she's losing control. Not the heartache she might have expected, more like a burning need to win. Adrian, I really like you. Would you consider giving me a chance? The confession comes out of nowhere. I don't flinch. I give her a slow, measured look. I have a girlfriend. Lyra. A flicker of disdain crosses Jade's eyes. I thought you were just messing around. The retort is right there on my tongue, until the corner of my eye catches a glimpse of fabric at the edge of the wall. I swallow the words. I pull my gaze from that sliver of clothing and bring it back to Jade's warm, bright face. I smile and say lightly, "You're right. I am playing around. That face of hers is just too much to resist. But I'm not done yet." I cut her off before she can finish. "If you don't mind, you could always be my backup plan." Leave it to the young master to insult two people in one sentence. Jade's expression drops instantly. She's still too young for this. Every feeling shows on her face. The smile she forces out is painfully stiff. "So when will you be done?" The shadow at the corner shifts slightly, and then the edge of fabric disappears. Jade is still waiting for a real answer, but my patience is gone. "None of your business." Before she can react, I turn and walk away. I head back into the noise of the party and don't rejoin the game. I sink into the sofa and pick at my cake without much enthusiasm. Jade, pride wounded, doesn't come back. Celeste perks right up and comes over with a fake friendliness that fools nobody. A few cold words from me and she storms off too. By around 9:30, the remaining guests drift away one by one. Soon it's just Nova and me. "Hey, how about I crash at your place tonight?" Nova and I grew up together. She's been there for almost every birthday I've had, because my parents are always too busy to come home even on their son's birthday. They just mail the gifts. This year is a little different though. I have a girlfriend now, and she didn't show up either. I can see the worry and pity in Nova's eyes. Honestly, I find it kind of funny. "It's fine. Your mom's called you like 3 times. Go home." Nova opens her mouth, then closes it again. In the end, the calls from home are relentless. She leaves with a string of reminders. Call if anything comes up. The night air is cool and still. Streetlights cast a pale amber glow. The shadows of bare branches claw across the ground like monsters lurking in the dark. Lyra walks slowly, eyes downcast, expression unreadable. A neatly wrapped gift box hangs from her handlebars. She stares at it for a moment. When she passes a trash can, she stops and drops it in. Something, Lyra thinks, has gone off course. At least there's still time to correct it. Lately, I've been feeling a strange kind of boredom. My head feels hollow. Lyra was always cold, but after my birthday party, she treats me like I'm made of air. Winter break is approaching. It's so cold no one wants to lift a finger. Some girls in class have quietly taken up knitting scarves. Nova is no exception. She just started dating someone new, a guy from another school who studies art. Why are you making one? Isn't it easier to just buy one? I can't wrap my head around it. Nova glances up at the teacher at the front of the room. Her hands don't stop moving. She drops her voice. "You don't get it. Handmade means so much more." I look at the loose, uneven scarf she's producing. I strongly doubt it will keep anyone warm. Nova says I just don't understand. "Tomorrow's Christmas. What are you getting your top student?" After every major exam, Lyra sits comfortably at the top, a gap between her and everyone else. Honestly impressive. By the window, Lyra listens to the lesson with her usual still, expressionless calm. I look away. There's no easy answer. I'll figure it out. In high school, holidays like Christmas are a big deal. Even when teachers warn against celebrating foreign holidays, it doesn't slow anyone down. People are darting between classrooms from the crack of dawn, exchanging gifts, passing things along. Even just a peeled apple or a mandarin orange counts. The truth is, as time has gone on, my one-sided devotion and Lyra's cold indifference have played out in full view of everyone. The guys who like Lyra, the ones who started out jealous of me, have turned to mocking me. So what if he's some rich kid? He's still shamelessly chasing someone who doesn't want him. Pathetic. He says he's got a big surprise for me tonight. How exciting, Nova giggles. Her cheeks are flushed pink. "What did your top student get you?" "No idea." I look down, expression a little flat. Nova pats my arm softly. "Don't worry, the day's only half over. I'm sure she's saving something for tonight." The last class of the day ends. The teacher calls time. Lyra hasn't said a single word to me all day. Lyra takes a bag of gifts to the school's lost and found counter. I sit in her seat and wait quietly. Bored, I flip through her textbook. Her books are immaculate, her handwriting clean and precise. Her notes are sparse, just like her. Minimalist. Cool. I'm about to close the book when a small note slips out from between the pages. "Tonight, 7:30, Starlight Plaza. I'll be waiting. Ethan." I lower my gaze, slide the note back exactly as it was, and keep my expression perfectly neutral. Lyra comes back for her bag. We leave through the school gates the same way we always do, one in front of the other. I watch her head straight for the bus stop. I jog after her and grab her arm. "Can you take the day off?" Lyra pulls her sleeve free. "Why? It's Christmas," I say, embarrassed enough that my voice comes out barely above a whisper. Lyra gives a small nod. Just as my eyes start to light up, she speaks, unhurried. Christmas brings in more customers. The pay should be better tonight. My eyes go wide. I stare at her in disbelief. Are you seriously obsessed with money? I'll pay you, okay? I'm so frustrated I raise my voice. Spend the evening with me. Double, no, triple, what you'd make tonight. A beat of silence falls between us. The noise around us seems to fade away. Only our breath remains, curling white in the cold air before the wind carries it off. After a long moment, Lyra lets out a short, sharp laugh. How generous of the young master. The bus pulls in right on cue. Lyra turns and gets on without a second glance, leaving me standing alone on the pavement. The bus pulls away. The stop is suddenly very empty. I stand there alone for a long time. The cold wind reddens my face. I curl my stiff fingers slowly and breathe out a small cloud of warmth. Something lands lightly on my face. Cold, brief, and then it melts. I look up, squinting slightly. It's snowing. The first snow I've seen since coming into this world. I'm not really a fan of all that white. It just looks lonely. And yet here I am, holding out my hand to catch snowflakes. People are strange like that. With that thought, I let it go. On a night this cold, there's nothing better than hot pot. I don't go home. Instead, I look up a hot pot restaurant nearby. By the time I arrive, the sky has turned a deep, hazy gray. I push open the door. A server greets me warmly. How many in your party tonight? The whole place is full of people who came together. Pairs and groups, lively and warm. I look around and say casually, 2. After ordering the food and broth, I add quietly, the other person will be here soon. Go ahead and serve. No need to wait. Of course, the server doesn't question it. I take a quiet corner table by the window and order the spicy red oil broth. The moment it arrives, the rich, fiery aroma hits me all at once. I dip the tripe into the boiling broth. Outside, the snow is falling harder. The ground quickly disappears under a layer of white. Across the street, the plaza lights up. A massive Christmas tree stands in the center. Young couples and groups cluster around it, snapping photos. I stare at a familiar figure for a long time. The same person who just over an hour ago said she had work to do and coldly turned me down is standing right there at Starlight Plaza. Ethan is wearing a short white jacket today, a thick scarf wrapped around his neck, only his smiling face showing above it. He looks soft and warm. Beside him, Lyra is in a plain black, long padded coat. It makes her look even more composed and distant. The pull between the two leads, it really is something that can't be easily undone. I make a note of that. Starlight Plaza is always crowded, but Christmas and the first snow together bring out even more. Ethan says something beside her, his voice warm with a smile. Lyra reaches into her pocket and pulls out her phone, pressing a few buttons. She discovers it had died on its own. She genuinely had planned to work at Club Dark Star tonight, but when she arrived, someone was already waiting at the entrance. Ethan. I knew you hadn't seen the note, Ethan murmurs under his breath. What? Lyra didn't catch it. Out of basic courtesy, she stops and turns. Something you need? Are you free right now? Ethan is too nervous to look at her directly. A faint blush creeps up his face. Lyra's expression doesn't change. Without hesitation, sorry, I'm not. Ethan's head snaps up. She's already a few steps away. He calls out quickly, there's something I need to tell you about Adrian. She watches the couples and groups stream past her. A slow, creeping regret settles in. She shouldn't have come tonight. What does Adrian's business have to do with her? Lyra pushes down whatever that feeling is. She holds down the power button. The moment her phone turns on, a message pops up. An unsaved number, but one she knows by heart. When do you get off? A little while later, another one comes through. This time it's a photo. Snow falling in the amber glow of a streetlight, each flake lit up like a tiny dancing spark. Lyra, it's snowing. Lyra stares at the screen. Several seconds pass. Ethan calls her name more than once before she snaps back. It's snowing, Ethan says softly with a laugh that's pure and warm. What are you thinking about? You were miles away. Nothing. Lyra pockets her phone. What did you want to tell me about Adrian? Ethan's thick lashes flutter. He slowly pulls in the hand he'd held out to catch the snow. He doesn't answer directly. Instead, he asks, you're not really in this with him, are you? Lyra's expression goes flat. She's never liked discussing her private life. Ethan is lost in his own thoughts. Her silence, to him, is as good as a yes. Ethan exhales slowly. He's made up his mind. Lyra, I'm standing quietly not far from them. The rest of Ethan's sentence dies in his throat. He freezes. Lyra's brow creases slightly. I walk toward her with a bright, easy smile. I hold out the craft paper bag in my hand. Merry Christmas. I don't ask why she's here. I act like I've completely forgotten she ever turned me down. Not sure what I'm up to. Lyra is silent for a moment. Then she takes it. Ethan can't stay. His face is burning red. He mumbles something about having to get home and turns to leave in a hurry. Where's my gift? I open my palm and hold it out toward her. Snowflakes fall into it, then melt almost instantly. I wait. She doesn't move. My smile slowly fades. My lips press into a flat line. Lyra, we're in a relationship. No gift, not even a greeting. What this relationship has given me is deception and indifference. My voice is flat, detached. I'm not accusing, just stating a fact. It's honestly really dull. Something I say hits a nerve. She turns sharply and faces me head on. You can break up with me. The way it started wasn't clean. The reasons weren't pure. And now you want it to be beautiful? Not a chance. They part on bad terms. Though to be fair, it's only a cold war on my end. For Lyra, life goes on without much visible change. One less me to deal with. If anything, it's a relief. Even the villainous second lead has his pride. This time, I'm not backing down 1st. Not a chance. The entire winter break, I don't reach out to her once. Lyra keeps to her routine, working her part-time shifts, then coming home to study. Since this is a quiet stretch in the plot, I enjoy a stretch of genuinely comfortable days. I poke at the male lead every now and then, just for the fun of it. Then it's shopping, going out, seeing everything, eating everything worth eating. High school life has never been this full. School starts again, and with it the grinding pressure of exam prep. The school, responding to a push for student mental health awareness, hires a new school counselor. The very same woman I once caught a brief glimpse of, Ethan's neighbor, Serena. Serena is accomplished and strikingly beautiful, with a voice so gentle it draws a crowd of admirers the moment she walks in. She makes no effort to hide how much she cares about Ethan. Word spreads quickly. Ethan and the new counselor go way back. Suddenly Ethan is more popular than ever. Even the ones who kept their distance because of my family now start approaching him. For a while, I'm the one being quietly sidelined. A few friends from similar backgrounds assume I must be taking it hard. To cheer me up, they drag me out of class and take me to a bar. I don't feel a thing, honestly. But staying in character means I have to play along. A few rich kids in a luxury private room. We have an outrageously good time. Not a trace of urgency about the college entrance exams creeping closer. I'm genuinely having fun. I take out my phone and start recording. Then I take a few selfies for good measure. The lavish interior, the backs of the guys around me, all captured. Then I post it. A few rounds in, the sky outside has gone fully dark. I check the time on my phone and take the elevator down to the lobby. I pretend not to see Lyra standing at the front desk. Walk out, walk back in, back and forth several times deliberately. Lyra finally speaks up. Taking a walk through the bar? I have absolutely nothing to say to that. I walk up and stop in front of her, feigning total surprise. Wait, you still work here? Good pay, Lyra answers without wasting a single word. This is our first real exchange since I forced her tuition payment through. I frown slightly. My face is flushed pink from the drinks. Lyra gives me a look. How much did you have? My brain is slow. I didn't drink. I tilt my head up and think carefully. Fruit wine. Lyra's expression cools. The photo from the social post flashes through her mind. Go sit down and wait, she says flatly. Her face says, you are inconvenient and I would rather not deal with you. I pout. But honestly, I am tired, and I have no desire to go back upstairs and subject my ears to that noise. So I drop onto a sofa nearby and rest like a good boy. I've always been good looking, but these past couple of years my face has really come into its own. Usually I'm loud and arrogant, spoiled and unbothered. But sitting here quietly like this, there's something unexpectedly soft about it. Just looks well behaved, Lyra tells herself. Boys his age forget everything when they're out having fun. By the time the others upstairs notice I'm missing, I'm already walking out with Lyra. Nova texts me furiously. You ditch your friends the second a girl's involved. Total lovesick fool. I look at the cool profile of the girl walking beside me and text back, gladly. It finally clicks. When Lyra told me to wait, she meant she was going to take me home. My eyes go wide. There's a deep, quiet satisfaction in my chest, like none of it was wasted after all. I quietly reach out and take her hand. Lyra's whole body stiffens, but she doesn't pull away. She lets me hold on. A minute later, Lyra speaks in an even, unreadable tone. Stop pinching me. I quickly loosen my grip on her palm. That night, I lie on my bed staring at the ceiling. Do you think Lyra maybe likes me a little? I ask myself quietly. No, don't get ahead of yourself. Ugh, I'm just asking. In the story, my family's bankruptcy is set to happen just before the college entrance exams. I do the math. Less than half a year left. Time really does fly. I remember arriving in this world. It was around this time of year, just as cold. I wonder how far along Lyra and Ethan are in their story. In all the moments I can't see. School lets out for the fall break on October 1st. The study rooms and library stay open for seniors. Plenty of dedicated students show up. I'm curled up at home watching movies and doze off somewhere in the middle of one. By the time I wake up, it's afternoon. I get myself together and head out to find something to eat. Every restaurant near home has lost its appeal. The family driver drops me off downtown. I get out and walk straight toward the mall, straight up to the third-floor restaurant level. The moment I step off the escalator, I hear a heated argument. This shirt is designer, tens of thousands. So tell me, how are you going to pay for it? The woman's tone is aggressive and overbearing. But you were the one who... I don't catch the rest. A familiar voice makes me stop. I look over. Ethan, what's going on? Ethan is in a server's uniform, surrounded by onlookers. His face is flushed with embarrassment and panic. Across from him, a short and stocky middle-aged woman has a damp stain across her clothes. She's yelling relentlessly, and she reaches out to grab him. Ethan steps back quickly, just barely out of her reach. He never expected a part-time holiday shift to end like this, cornered by a bully. She couldn't get what she wanted, so she made the mess herself. Now she's using it as leverage. A crowd of diners has gathered to watch. The woman gets bolder with an audience. What? If something gets ruined, someone pays for it. That's just the way it works. I can see you're just a kid. I won't ask for too much. 20,000 will do. 20,000. The color drains from Ethan's face. Satisfied that she's landed the blow, the woman rubs her hands together. She lowers her voice to add something nastier. When someone yanks her sharply by the back of her collar, a lazy, drawling voice comes from behind her. Lady, what year do you think it is? You're still running this con? Extortion is a crime, you know. I let go and wipe my hand with a tissue, making it very clear how I feel about the contact. The woman's expression shifts. She takes in my face, and before she can flash her practice smile, my visible disgust cuts her off at the knees. Her face cycles through expressions like a bad performance. Extortion? What extortion? I don't scare easy. You break something, you pay for it. That's just common sense. I roll my eyes without a shred of courtesy. Sure, fine. You want compensation? Let's pull the security footage and see exactly who started this. My tone is pure contempt. A shirt worth 20,000? Show me the receipt. I'll cover it. The shirt is a knockoff from a 100 yuan stall. Of course she has no receipt. I carry myself well, and every piece I'm wearing is clearly high-end. Anyone can see I come from money. She was already uneasy. The mention of security footage and receipts sends her over the edge. She spits out, "This is my bad luck," and shoves her way out of the crowd. Not another word about compensation. The onlookers drift away. Ethan never expected me, of all people, to step in. He murmurs a quiet, "Thank you. I didn't do it for your thanks." Same sharp tongue as always. I just couldn't stand that woman. I wasn't trying to help you. And another thing, I fix him with a pointed look. Stop spending every waking moment thinking about romance. Warning delivered, I turn and leave. Smooth and thoroughly pleased with myself. A troublemaker who appeared out of nowhere, dispatched by a few well-placed words from me. And that parting warning, what a coincidence. Ethan watches my back as I walk away. His fingers tighten slowly. For just a moment, something ugly crosses his face. I have no idea he suspects I set the whole thing up. If I did, I'd cry injustice at the top of my lungs. Please, I'm a villain, not some idiot with time to waste. I put the whole episode out of my mind quickly. I've been busy. Lyra's birthday is less than 2 days away. She couldn't care less about my birthday, but I'm the bigger person. I don't hold grudges. The ones who are adored can always afford to be careless. But what can I say? I'm just crazy about that face of hers. Last year on her birthday, I gave Lyra a limited edition necklace. She never touched it. This year I'm changing my approach. No more throwing money at the problem. Sincerity is the real weapon. I am, without question, hopelessly clumsy with my hands. I hole up in my room and somehow, eventually, finish the gift. By the time I'm done, the sun has already set outside. I pack the gift carefully and jog downstairs. I tell the driver to bring the car around. During the public holiday, the cafe is even busier than usual. On her break, Lyra eats a quick dinner. Her phone buzzes in her pocket. It's a text from me, asking where she is. Lyra glances at the screen and replies, "At home." The next order is ready. She puts her phone down and carries the coffee out. By the time she's fully done, 2 hours have passed. Someone arrives to take over. She packs up and heads home. On the way, the manager at Club Darkstar sends her final payment and expresses genuine regret about her resignation, wishing her well for the exams. Lyra is genuinely grateful. She replies with a simple thank you. She rides her bike back to the old alley. A few scattered lights glow dimly on either side. The narrow concrete path is uneven and pocked with holes. Overhead wires tangle across the sky. The air carries the damp, sweet scent of osmanthus. The deeper in she goes, the closer to home, and the thinner the walls. Lyra gets off her bike. She walks it forward slowly. A few seconds later, she stops abruptly. The window of a neighbor's house casts a faint amber light. It stretches the silhouette of a boy crouching by the wall into a long, thin shadow. His head is bowed, something in his hand, idly drawing shapes on the ground. The squeak of the bicycle breaks the quiet and startles the small, crouched figure. He looks up, sees it's Lyra, and immediately drops what he's holding. He stands, and his legs have gone numb. He stumbles. "You lied without even thinking about it. You said you were at home." There's unmistakable hurt in his voice. Somewhere along the way, his white shirt has picked up a very visible smudge. The corners of his eyes are red. His white canvas shoes are dirty too, like a stray white ragdoll cat caught out in the world. I follow her gaze to the stained shirt and dirty shoes. My face goes red. "It's your fault for living in a place like this," I pout, jaw practically on the floor. I tried to wipe it and it just got worse. I'm fuming, and my mouth won't stop. All you think about is money. You don't even remember your own birthday. I rushed all the way over here just to celebrate with you. I was scared you'd go out with someone else. The more I talk, the quieter I get. My head droops. My voice goes muffled. "And then you lied to me. I waited here for over 3 hours for nothing." "Lyra, you liar. You did this on purpose, didn't you?" Lyra stands a little over a meter away, still in the shadow. I can't make out her expression. My heart sinks. My hair droops with it. I go small. "Ignoring me again. You always do this. How much do you actually hate me?" The hurt at the end of my words is swallowed by the night wind. Barely audible. Lyra steps out of the shadows slowly. She leans her bike against the wall in one clean motion and walks toward me step by step. The sudden weight of her presence makes me instinctively want to step back. The next second, she grabs my arm, hard. "Where are you going?" Lyra holds my gaze. Her grip is strong. Her palm has a thin layer of calluses, dry and burning warm. Her fingers press into my skin. The spot where she's holding me aches and burns at once. My heart slams. I reach up to push her hand away, clumsy and desperate. Lyra catches my other hand, the restless one. Both my wrists are now completely in her grip. She bows her head. Her lashes fall, hiding whatever is in her eyes. "If I'm not coming, you could just leave. You knew I'd lied, and you sat here waiting like a fool. If I hadn't come back until morning, would you have sat here all night? Adrian, do you have any sense of self-preservation at all?" I stand there blinking under her lecture. I'm already nursing the world's biggest grievance, and now the person who caused it is scolding me. This is a new low. Fine, I'm dumb, I'm foolish, I have no self-preservation. My eyes blur with moisture. I glare at her through it. Everything I do is wrong in your eyes anyway. I made you a birthday gift and ran all this way to give it to you. Threw my warmth at a stone wall, wasted every bit of sincerity on someone who doesn't care. Lyra just looks at me, deeply, in silence. A heavy, wordless silence stretches between us. After a long moment, her grip loosens slightly. I never said that. That's exactly what you meant. I'm about to say more when a loud growl cuts through the quiet. My body goes stiff. I feel her eyes on me. My face goes completely red. I was in the middle of a dramatic moment. Why did my stomach have to ruin it? Lyra puts it together. Her brow furrows sharply. You haven't eaten? I make a vague sound and turn my head away in embarrassment. I'm sitting on the small sofa in Lyra's home, still a little dazed. I don't quite understand how I ended up inside. This is the first time I've ever stepped through her door. The space is small and worn, but spotlessly clean. That's my first impression. I last about a minute sitting still before I start wandering. The fridge is too small. The TV needs replacing. The walls are peeling. There's barely any furniture. The rooms are cramped. The walls are paper thin. When I finally tired myself out, I lean against the kitchen doorframe, cup of water in hand. Hey, are you actually cooking for me? Lyra has her back to me, tall and straight, a simple gray top and black trousers. On her it looks effortlessly cool. She doesn't answer. I'm not bothered. My moods come and go like the wind. One second I'm on the verge of tears, the next I'm smug as ever. Oh right, we should go get a cake together. You can't have a birthday without cake. What about this place? Lyra, take a look. Lyra carries a bowl over, steam rising from it. She moves past me without expression and sets it on the table. Eat. She's made noodles with greens and egg, the egg pan fried first. 2 golden eggs nestle in the noodles. A scattering of bright green greens alongside. The smell hits me before I even sit down. I swallow involuntarily. Somehow I'm even hungrier than before. Every craving I have is wide awake now. I forget all about the cake. I put my head down and eat. Halfway through, when the hunger finally dulls a little, I lift my head with a measure of dignity. Lyra has nothing in front of her. You're not eating? I ask, confused. Already ate, so she made this just for me. My chopsticks pause. I steal a glance at her through the corner of my eye. Lyra has her eyes lowered, reading a vocabulary book she produced from somewhere. Her features are cool and sharp, clean lines, a high nose bridge. When she looks down, you can see how thick and long her lashes are. Her lips, neither full nor thin, press lightly together, an air of distance that keeps the world at arm's length. The gaze from across the table is impossible to ignore. She doesn't even look up. Enjoying the view? Caught staring, and caught by the person herself. My face warms, but I don't feel the least bit awkward. I answer clearly without hesitation. Very. I've never hidden how much I like her. Lyra, you're really something. But instead of the pleasure I expect, her expression darkens. 2 years of staring, and you're still not bored? I only like her face, and I'm not done yet. My own voice echoes back at her. Young, unguarded, proud. Lyra's face goes completely blank. She stands and looks down at me. When you're done, you can go. I don't understand the sudden shift. I shovel down the rest of the noodles in 2 bites, swipe my mouth with my hand, and announce loudly, no. Am I someone you can just invite and dismiss whenever you feel like it? This is exactly what letting the wolf in the door looks like. I plant myself firmly on the seat, half afraid she might actually throw me out. I drape myself across the table and go completely still, stealing glances at her through wide, doe-like eyes. We stare at each other in silence. Lyra draws a slow breath. Expression blank. Go wash the bowl. She's not kicking me out. I'm quietly thrilled. On the outside, I drag my feet. Fine. The kitchen is really just a partition corner of the room. I put the clean bowl away and come back out. She's gone. A sliver of light shows under the door to the next room. I push it open and step inside. Lyra is sitting at a small desk, head bowed over a test paper she's only halfway through. I walk over quietly and lean against the desk in front of her, loose and casual, and wave a hand in her face. Do you really have to study this hard? Come on, let's go celebrate your birthday. She glances at me, then looks back down. I nudge her leg with mine. I'm talking to you, not going. How is that okay? I came all this way specifically to celebrate your birthday. She sets down her pen, closes the book, and lowers her eyes. There's no cake shop nearby. My face drops, then immediately lights up. That's fine, I'll have someone bring one. I take out my phone to text, and she lightly presses down on my wrist, takes the phone from my hand and sets it on the desk. Don't bother. It's no trouble, I'll pay for the delivery. She looks at my completely serious face. Then quietly she laughs, just once. I know you have money. I watch her tuck the test paper into a book. You're done? A soft, She takes a few steps. She stops when she notices I haven't followed, turns her head slightly. Didn't you want to get a cake? It clicks. I break into a grin and jog over to take her hand. Let's go. Let's go. She turns her head slightly. In the light, a small smile appears at the corner of her mouth. In the end, there's no cake. I'm holding a loaf of bread she picked up from a convenience store. I pout, deflated, and murmur to myself, can wishes made over bread even come true? I would have brought a cake if I'd known, Lyra says quietly. This is fine. How are you supposed to blow out candles? I'm clearly not impressed. It's her birthday, and yet I'm the one who cares about how it's done. She rummages through a drawer and finds a lighter. She tests it, still works. Under my puzzled gaze, she turns off the lights. The room goes dark all at once. Only a thin wash of moonlight seeps through the window and pools faintly on the floor. I take the lighter from her, dazed. Her calm voice comes through the dark. Adrian, light the candle. Candle? What candle? A warm, dry hand covers mine and guides it. The lighter sparks to life. The small flame lights a corner of the room. Half of her face is caught in the glow, her long lashes casting a shadow beneath. We're impossibly close, breath tangled together. Someone's heartbeat is loud enough to hear. In her eyes, always so still, always so detached, I see my own reflection, clear and sharp. Something wants to surface in this moment. I force it back down. She leans in, and the flame goes out, but she doesn't move back. She's quiet for a moment, hesitant. Adrian, I suddenly burst out loudly. Wait, did you make a wish? You have to make the wish before you blow it out, or it won't come true. I step back quickly and fumble for the light switch in the dark. The light floods back in and wipes out every trace of what had been building between us. Lyra closes her eyes. When she opens them, they're calm again. Forgot. How could you forget something so important? Want some bread? She cuts off my rambling. Sure. The bread isn't big. We each take half. She stares at the crumb at the corner of my mouth for a moment, then looks away. I'll walk you back when you're done. She checks the time on her phone. It is late. Staying longer probably isn't appropriate. My hand pauses on the bread. This time I don't argue. Okay, wait. Something comes back to me. I hurry to the small sofa. She watches me pull a craft paper bag from my canvas backpack. Something shifts in her. She stands up. I hold the craft paper bag out to her with both hands. I look up with a smile that reaches my eyes. Here, your birthday gift. Lyra doesn't reach for it. I rush to explain. It's not store-bought. I made it myself. She knows she should refuse. The way she's turned down all the expensive things I've given her before. But she takes it, just like that Christmas with the first snow falling when she took what I gave her then. Inside is a pair of gloves. Stitches rough and uneven, coming apart in places, barely warm enough to count. I've never given you anything, she says, meaning my birthdays. Good. At least you have some conscience left, you villain. I huff, a little put out, a little flustered, and say it anyway, with all my pride intact. Then just give me something in return someday. Someday. Her grip on the craft paper bag tightens. Her voice comes out a little rough. After a while, Lyra calls a cab and sees me home. She watches me walk away, light on my feet, toward the villa district, until my figure disappears completely. Only then does she turn and head back, on foot, slow, from the polished villa district to her worn, narrow alley. The distance between them is long. She can walk it, but the distance between her and me is not the kind that walking can close. Lyra reaches into her pocket and takes out a small glass jar. Inside, a rose blooms in vivid, brilliant color. Preserved with desiccant, the dried flower is perfectly kept. It can last a very long time in the jar. On her 18th birthday, she has a rose unlike any other in the world, one that will never wilt. But flowers are deceptive by nature. She doesn't know if she should let herself love. The 7-day fall break ends. Senior students are swallowed once more by the grinding routine of school, home, and study. The first midterm mock exam is drawing close. The homeroom teacher hammers it in at every opportunity. Once the exam is done, results will be sent directly to every parent. Students who've been coasting suddenly look very nervous. Cursing under their breath, they scramble to catch up. Bad grades they can survive. Public humiliation is another story, especially the wealthy and well-connected parents. For them, reputation comes before everything. Lately, I haven't been having a great time. My adoptive parents have made one of their rare appearances at home to monitor my studying, which means I've actually been sitting through classes and doing my homework like a model student. But last-minute cramming only goes so far. I think of Lyra. She's a top student in every subject. Completely well-rounded. She just took home the gold at the Physics Olympiad. It made quite a name for her. 2 major universities have quietly reached out with offers. I just gave her a gift. I went inside her home. I was there for her birthday, a birthday she won't forget. I'd say things between us are going quite well, almost like a real couple. Either way, she's still my girlfriend. Might as well make use of that. So naturally, I want her to tutor me. It can count as a date. Just a more wholesome kind. When the teacher isn't watching, I secretly toss her a note. It says, "Come to the library with me after class." I watch and wait with wide eyes. She doesn't open it until class is almost over. She reads it, folds it back up, doesn't even look my way. The bell rings and I march over. "Why didn't you write back?" I read it, why would I need to? I catch her logic. My irritation has nowhere to go. I can't even argue with her. "You're not working this weekend? Mornings are free, afternoons I still work. Half a day is still time enough for lunch. That's already something." With her, it takes very little to make me happy. Maybe she's turned me down so many times that even the smallest yes is enough. Great, see you tomorrow. Nova has signed up for an outside tutoring class. She hasn't been walking with me these past few days. The family driver has the day off. I walk. On the way home, I unexpectedly run into 2 people. From a distance, I spot Ethan and Serena walking side by side. I have no intention of going over, but trouble has a way of finding me whether I look for it or not. "Adrian, what a coincidence." Ethan says it while already walking toward me. "I never properly thanked you for what you did. If you don't mind, let me treat you to a meal." Before I can turn him down, Serena picks up on something. Her gentle brow creases. "What is it, Ethan? What happened?" Ethan looks a little sheepish. "A customer gave me a hard time at my part-time job." He glances at me with a smile. Thanks to Adrian here, a couple of words and the whole thing was over. The gratitude sounds perfectly polite and completely off. Facing what looks like genuine thanks from Ethan, the villainous second lead isn't supposed to be sharp, so I have to pretend I don't catch it. Ethan's expression stiffens slightly. A flicker of embarrassment. Serena naturally steps in. "Adrian, Ethan is thanking you." "Miss Serena, I'm not deaf. I heard him. Thanks." Serena's opinion of me drops another notch. But aside from my tone, I haven't actually said anything unreasonable. She takes a slow breath. "I'll treat you to that meal, Adrian. Consider it my way of thanking you for helping Ethan." No, Serena, you can't pay for it. This is my thing to handle. If anyone's treating, it should be me. You just called me your sister. Your matters are my matters. That doesn't mean, stop, I've heard enough. Why don't you two just go eat? Treat each other all you want. Count me out. Without even asking if I want to join. There's no way I'm eating with either of you. I point at them one by one, smiling without an ounce of warmth. "Serena, we're not close. Ethan, we have history." Scrape the three of us around one table and nobody's going to enjoy a single bite. Goodbye, don't bother walking me out. With that, I straighten my back and walk right past them. The two of them just stare at each other. I've walked a good distance and I'm still fuming. Those two were flirting right in front of my face. So I was just a prop in their little game? Like anyone doesn't already know how close they are. Lyra's genius aura followed her everywhere, and everyone around her got to bask in the glow. After a few tutoring sessions, I finally scored 614th place in the first mock exam. With over 10,000 students in the joint high school exam cracking the top 2,000, that's no small feat. That's a genuinely great result. At the very top of the rankings, Lyra's name sits firmly in first place. Perfect score in science, perfect score in math, 148 in English. Only her Chinese score pulls her back a little, but even that would be an incredible score for any normal student. So this is what the protagonist's halo looks like. I'm completely stunned. I knew she was brilliant, but not like this. Is this even a score a normal human being can get? And what about Ethan? I scan further down the list. I find his name somewhere past the 300 mark. A total score over 600, still a very strong result. My ranking shoots up so fast that my whole crew starts hollering about throwing me a celebration dinner. The moment I hear it's at South Bank Restaurant, I shut it down immediately. Somewhere else. Why? Didn't you have your birthday there last time? The food there is pretty good too, Nova asks, genuinely confused. That's exactly why I'm still shaken. Something about that place just feels cursed to me. But if I actually said that, Nova would think I'd lost my mind. Going to the same spot every time is boring. Let's go to Club Darkstar. Not many people go there. In the end, we all head to Club Darkstar. There's a different girl at the front desk. Not as pretty as Lyra, not as tall, not the same figure either. As luck would have it, the moment we walk in, we run into the female manager of Club Darkstar, who's in the middle of giving instructions to the staff. I walk in without a second thought. Then something catches my ear. I stop dead in my tracks. What did you just say? Someone's been giving Lyra trouble? What does that mean? My face goes tight. I ignore everyone trying to pull me back. I walk straight to the curb and flag down a cab. At some point it starts to drizzle. Raindrops hit the window and slide away. I watch the scenery blur past outside, and slowly the storm inside me begins to settle. The manager's words keep echoing in my head. That Miss Celeste, she comes in all the time. She shows up with her crowd and picks fights on purpose every single time, specifically demands that Lyra be the one to serve their drinks and fruit platters. That's not even Lyra's job, but because she says so, Lyra just has to do it? The manager looks pained. Miss Celeste made it very clear. If Lyra dares to refuse, she'd better watch her back on the way home. A pack of rich kids cornering someone in the street. They're capable of anything. Better to play it smart, serve the drinks, take a few snide remarks, and walk away. She had wanted to tell Lyra to hold on a little longer, but Lyra was the one who brought up quitting. No matter how reckless Celeste may be, she doesn't just target people for no reason. Lyra got caught in the crossfire because of me. I don't have an umbrella. The cab driver kindly pulls up right in front of the coffee shop. I step out, walk up to the glass door, reach out to push it, and pause, palm pressed against the cold handle. Lyra is wearing a simple white hoodie. Around her waist, a black apron with red trim. She has her back to the door, carrying a tray of coffees. Someone is talking to her. She tilts her head slightly and leans in to listen. Half her face in profile, calm and quietly beautiful. Something flickers in my eyes. After a long moment, I slowly pull my hand back. Inside the cafe, Lyra's heart skips a beat. She turns toward the entrance as if she sensed something. Only the drizzle remains, falling without pause. The wind chime by the door sways and rings out clear and bright, but there's no one there. Lyra looks away. The rain picks up. A car speeds past. It sends a wave of water flying almost knee-high. I snap my newly bought umbrella up just in time to block it. Are you serious? Ever heard of slowing down near pedestrians? I yell until my voice goes hoarse, but the car is long gone. Unbelievable. I rub my arms. They've gone cold. The rain is getting heavier, and the temperature is dropping. I need to find somewhere to take cover. Just as that thought crosses my mind, a fierce gust hits, and my umbrella nearly tears itself inside out. I yelp and grip the handle tight, pushing the umbrella down. The next second, a firm hand reaches from behind me and takes hold of the handle. The umbrella steadies. Warmth presses against my side. That whole side of me goes soft and tingly. A familiar scent of clean soap drifts past my nose. In that moment of daze, Lyra has already slipped the umbrella from my hand, smooth as anything. She must have rushed out. Her long white hair is damp from the rain. She frowns slightly, her tone less than warm. Why are you out here in the rain? Performance art, the tragic rain-soaked aesthetic. I shudder at my own words. That's you, not me. Lyra doesn't bother arguing. She grabs my wrist and pulls me under the bus shelter. Adrian, were you just at the coffee shop? No, I say without hesitation. She stares at me in silence. 10 seconds later, I cave. Fine, I did go, but you looked busy, so I didn't want to bother you. She's not buying that excuse for a second. She doesn't believe I'd ever be that considerate, and she's about to push further. I stand on my tiptoes and ruffle her hair with great enthusiasm. Hey, you ran out here without an umbrella either. Were you scared I'd run away? I blink at her, a sly grin spreading across my face. Admit it, Lyra, your heart moves for me too. She freezes. Something flickers in her eyes, too fast to catch. Then her expression locks back into place. Don't talk nonsense. With that distraction, she never gets to ask me again. Crisp autumn air. The school has arranged a college visit trip for the senior students, 2 top universities to give everyone a taste of campus life. The goal is to spark some motivation to study. Tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock, South Gate. Our homeroom teacher passes down the orders. I drag myself out of bed early. By the time I wash up in a daze, it's already past 6:40. No time for breakfast. I have the driver take me straight to school. I arrive at the school gate, just barely catching the last wave of students boarding the bus. I climb on after them. Almost every seat is taken. I spot Nova right away. She's waving at me. Then I notice Lyra sitting in the back row by the window. The seat next to her is empty. I like her too much to let that slide. I ditch Nova without a second thought and head for the back. She had already spotted me the moment I jogged onto the bus. She watches from the corner of her eye as I get closer and closer. Then, like a breeze sweeping past, I drop into the seat beside her. Lyra, did you save this seat for me on purpose? No, she says, completely unfazed. It was just empty. The girl in front can't help turning around. Didn't you just say this seat was taken? Lyra has absolutely nothing to say. No way. Lyra, you actually said that? There's nothing more mortifying than getting caught in a lie with witnesses. For someone like her, this is devastating. One moment of vulnerability, and she'll shut herself off for a lifetime. Okay, maybe not quite that dramatic, but for the next 2 hours on that bus, no matter how much I tease her, pout at her, or throw little tantrums at her, she doesn't say a single word. I talk myself dry, crack open a bottle of water and take a sip. I scan the bus, no sign of Ethan. I turn my head and come face to face with Ethan's bright red, furious glare. I nearly choke on my water. I hold it back and cough a few times. How long has he been staring at me like that? I cough until my face goes red. Lyra's brow furrows. I assume I'm disturbing her. I clap a hand over my mouth and turn away to keep coughing. The muffled sound of it is enough to set anyone's nerves on edge. She yanks my hand away from my mouth. Are you trying to suffocate yourself? Her voice is cold and carrying something else underneath that I can't quite place. The startle shocks the cough right out of me. My eyes dart around. A moment like this, it'd be a waste not to use it. I throw my arm out and point straight at Ethan behind me. Why are you everywhere I go? What do you mean, me? If you hadn't been staring, I wouldn't have choked. The onlookers can't believe the nerve. Blaming someone else for that? Ethan falters for just a second, then catches himself. He bites his lip. You're the one who turned around. Which brings to mind that classic line, how did you know I was looking if you weren't looking first? I make a face like I've been completely stumped, eyes wide open, looking absolutely ridiculous. A few people nearby laugh under their breath, watching me try to bully someone and get called out instead. Young Master Adrian, why do you always go after Ethan? The guy sitting next to Ethan is furious. He's been holding this in for a while. Could it be jealousy? He and Ethan are close. When Ethan was at his lowest, he told this guy everything about Lyra. So he knows. I'm the other guy who swooped in and took someone else's girl. Ethan is too decent to want to make a scene, but this guy isn't. With the rest of the class looking on in confusion, he chooses his words carefully, leaving just enough unsaid. Some things were never yours to begin with. No matter what you do, they never will be. Then he smirks at me. He just called Lyra a thing. The few who know the full story immediately glance over at Lyra, who is sitting with an ice-cold expression. One look at her face and they all look away. Amid the low murmurs around us, she notices the redness quietly creeping into the corners of my eyes. Whatever irritation she had been feeling dissolves completely. All she feels now is helplessness, and a tenderness she hasn't even noticed in herself. Before she can say anything, the teacher claps twice to get everyone's attention. He runs through the rules and schedule for the campus visit. And just like that, we've arrived. The moment the bus stops, I'm the first one off, head down, walking fast. I'm walking so fast that Nova is gasping to keep up. Hey, what's wrong now? Who set you off this time? She was sitting up front, earphones in, video calling her boyfriend the whole ride. She has no idea what just went down at the back. Nothing happened. I keep walking, head down. Go enjoy yourself. I need some time alone. That's enough for Nova to stop pushing. Summit University's campus is enormous. So big there are actual traffic lights on the roads inside. Beautiful people everywhere. A different kind of youth than what you see in high school. I find a patch of lawn and sit down behind a big rock. I dig into my bag, pull out a pack of soda crackers, and crunch away. Bliss. Sea salt soda crackers are the finest food on this earth. No arguments. I declare this with complete satisfaction. After the crackers, I tear open a pack of spicy strips, eating them while licking my fingers. Every few seconds I glance around, paranoid about being spotted. Several snack packs later, half a bottle of drink gone. Stuffed, I lie back on the yellowing grass and zone out. I chose this spot on purpose, tucked behind a decorative rock, completely hidden, no one to bother me. I stayed up late last night and woke up early this morning. Before I know it, lying here, I'm asleep. I wake up to my phone ringing. I fumble it open in a daze and see over a dozen missed calls, some from Nova and several from Lyra. I snap awake instantly and shoot upright. Too fast. Everything spins. I wait for it to pass and the shock starts to clear. I stare at the number again and again. Can't believe it, it's really her. She reached out to me, on her own. My mind goes completely blank. When I come back to myself, my thumb hovers over her number. Then I swipe and call. She picks up immediately. Adrian, where did you disappear to? I've been calling forever. I was worried sick. I thought you got kidnapped or something. Send me your location. I'm coming to find you right now. Don't move. A few seconds pass. Say something. Did you give me a chance to? I sigh, completely drained. I had to wait for you to finish, Nova. I was worried about you, and now you're giving me attitude? Nova is completely unbothered. You're right, you're the best, Nova. I ask why she called. She says it's almost noon and she wanted to grab lunch together. She kept calling and getting no answer. She almost went to find a teacher. My head starts to throb. Please don't, have mercy. I'll check in with you wherever I go, okay? This isn't a primary school field trip. I don't need a teacher filing a missing person report and blasting my name over a loudspeaker. Just picturing it makes me want to curl up and disappear. You didn't tell tell a teacher, right? Silence. A bad feeling creeps in. Did you actually go to a teacher? No, I let out a breath. Then, a beat later, she says hesitantly, I went and found your academic genius. Silence for a few seconds. I think of those missed calls from Lyra. Now I know why she called. I hang up, drop back onto the grass with a blank expression. Great, I've humiliated myself again. She definitely thinks I'm a complete idiot. I send my location and wait. Out of some instinct to preserve what's left of my dignity, I never call Lyra back. I just send a text saying I wasn't lost, and definitely wasn't kidnapped. She never replies. I sigh. She was probably just being decent, doing the humane thing. She doesn't actually care that much about me. Meanwhile, Nova stares at her phone after the call drops, then sneaks a guilty glance at the academic genius standing beside her, stone-faced. Sorry about that. Adrian's probably fine. Sorry for wasting your time, Nova says sheepishly. It's fine, Lyra says flatly. Nova can't tell whether she's upset or not. After all, everyone at school knows she doesn't like their Adrian. Nova thinks this and quickly adds a few more apologies. Somehow, Nova feels like Lyra's expression has gone even colder. And there's something else too. Something vague and unreadable, like confusion. The same look she had when she saw that Adrian called back. I have no idea any of this happened. When I called Nova back, Lyra was right there, and I'd been agonizing over whether to call Lyra back. Call, and risk her mocking me. Don't call, and that's completely out of character for how I've been chasing her. I'm still going back and forth when Nova shows up. Why are you lying on the ground? Aren't you cold? My sprawled out pose leaves her speechless. Get up, let's go eat. I let her motion guide me. She pulls me up and I immediately collapse against her like I have no bones. She stumbles under my weight. I genuinely cannot with you. Don't get too attached to me, I say with great gravity. I'm a legend. Nova rolls her eyes. For the sake of a certain legendary student's taste buds, we're going to the cafeteria. The university cafeteria has an enormous variety. Regional specialties and street food from all over the country. There are 3 canteens in total. We go to the nearest one and get Maurice. The taste is average, but the portions are generous and the place is spotlessly clean. The lunch crowd is in full force. After hunting around, we finally find 2 free seats in the corner, a table for 4, 2 seats already taken. When I see who's sitting there, I want to scream at the sky. Of all the luck, how is this even possible? It's Lyra and Ethan. I'm in no mood to perform right now. I'm just about to look for another table when Nova spots them too. Oh no, there's no escaping this. I have to keep up the act. By the time Nova turns to check on me with a worried look, my expression is already in place. Eyes blazing, face like I'm about to commit a crime. Don't get worked up, Nova says quickly. It's just sharing a table. It's really not a big deal. Hey, slow down, wait for me, like I'm going to listen. My head is already spinning trying to figure out what to do with this sudden surge of anger. What am I even going to say when I get there? Scream at Ethan? Blame Lyra? I've run through it all so many times I'm annoying myself. I reach the table and slam my tray down. It lands with a satisfying crash. Ethan flinches exactly as expected. Then Lyra frowns, ready to defend him, but the way Lyra looks at me, lost, uncertain, stops me cold. Every line I'd prepared gets stuck in my throat. We stare at each other, both frozen. Something strange settles between us, like a world of its own. Ethan feels it too. He cuts in quickly. Adrian, are you here for lunch? There's still room, come sit. His gentle, considerate words break whatever that was. Something shifts behind my eyes. I look at Ethan, brow furrowed. I'm not blind. I can see the empty seat. Ethan's expression turns awkward. Nova tugs at my sleeve, making frantic faces at me, signaling me not to act like this in front of Lyra. Nobody likes arrogant and unreasonable. Reluctantly, I sit. Lyra slowly pulls her gaze from my face. She doesn't seem to realize that she's the one who caused all of this. The meal is painfully awkward. I take every opportunity to throw a jab at Ethan. Even someone with thick skin couldn't take it, let alone someone as proud as him. Ethan mutters some excuse about having somewhere to be and rushes off, eyes reddening. He rushes out with his head down and walks straight into someone coming from the other direction. Sorry. The way he says it, quietly wounded, makes Serena's heart clench. She steadies him by the shoulders and makes him look up. A tear-streaked face stares back at her. What happened? Serena clumsily reaches up to wipe his face. When he sees it's her, the tears come harder. He chokes out, It's nothing. Nothing? Look at you. You think I can't tell? No, He glances in a direction that seems almost accidental, then bites his lip. Really, I'm fine. Serena follows his gaze. She finds me, handsome face tilted up, chatting with a girl. She doesn't need any more explanation. She had volunteered to be a chaperone for this trip specifically to look out for Ethan, and yet, right under her watch, he still got hurt. Counting the first time I showed up at Ethan's place, this has happened 3 times now. Serena's expression darkens. Something settles in her mind. Meanwhile, Lyra and I have already left the cafeteria. Nova, being the ride-or-die best friend that she is, slips away on her own, refusing to be the third wheel, and leaves the 2 of us alone. That look of hers flashes through my mind again. I feel strangely unsettled. I'm going to use the bathroom. There's one nearby. I head for it. The water this time of year bites a little when it hits your skin. I scoop up a handful and splash it over my face. I lean over the sink and let the droplets fall. I stare at the faucet without really seeing it. Adrian likes Lyra, but I don't. Why does one ill-timed look from her throw me into this much chaos? She played a pair of threes and I went and threw down a royal flush. That makes no sense. I think it through, straighten my clothes, and walk back out. I see her tall figure waiting not far away. I pause for just a second, then put on a smile and walk over. I make a small sound. I thought you'd have left by now. Why would I leave? Lyra looks down at me. I make a few noises and go quiet, but Lyra doesn't let it drop. She repeats it. Why would you think I was going to leave? You're always like this with me, I say, my voice barely a whisper, and I can't quite hide the hurt underneath it. Always impatient with me. You don't like me. You don't treat me like your boyfriend. Well, at least he knows it. Lyra thinks of those missed calls. The fact that he called Nova back first, then that dismissive text. A sourceless anger rises in her chest. Under the full weight of my gaze, she suddenly turns cold. You're the same. What? My eyes cloud with confusion. Same how? And just like that, Lyra goes quiet. She is a human lockbox. Would it kill her to say a few more words? I roll my eyes internally so hard. She was just looking at me all lost and confused, and now the cold wall is back up. I guess I've gotten too used to the rare moments she's nice. I pretend like something just occurred to me and say in an accusing tone, why were you with Ethan again? I've told you, I don't like seeing you with him. I'm your boyfriend. Keep your distance from other guys. I wear the look of someone who owns the world. Now you remember that, Lyra says out of nowhere. I didn't catch it. What? Lyra glances at me then looks away. Nothing. I had something to discuss with him. What kind of something? I press immediately. Lyra is quiet for a moment. Then her eyes drift back to my face. She takes her time studying my tight, anxious expression before she finally speaks. He asked which university I'm planning to apply to. Why would he ask that? Anyone with half a brain can figure it out. Ethan wants to apply to the same school as Lyra. I feel a spike of indignation. He won't even get in. Adrian, stop judging people, Lyra says, frowning. As far as Lyra is concerned, what anyone else does or where they choose to apply has nothing to do with her. She doesn't like her life being tangled up with other people's. And she especially doesn't like how I keep dragging irrelevant people into what's between the two of us. In her mind, wherever things between us end up, it's between the two of us. Nobody else has a place in it. Everyone boards the bus. Time to head home. The ride back is full of noise and chatter. After a full day out, nobody feels tired. If anything, the energy is even higher. College life, so many things to do, freedom over your own time, no endless tests. Everyone talks about what they saw and did, each of them hoping their own college days will be just as full and colorful. Lyra turns to look out the window. The glass is faintly reflective, and in it, she can just make out the sleeping profile of the boy beside her. Peaceful, beautiful. The last light of the setting sun falls over the smoothly moving bus. The noise around her fades away. She stares for a long time, until someone hollers that they've arrived and shouts for everyone to get off. I'm deep in sleep, dreaming about something I couldn't tell you. My lips move, mumbling something muffled and unclear. Lyra leans in a little closer and makes out what I'm murmuring. Her name, Lyra. Lyra's expression freezes. The softness barely has a chance to reach her eyes. Before I continue mumbling, big idiot, Lyra is instantly speechless. A firm hand comes down hard on my forehead. I jolt awake. I look around in a daze, trying to figure out who just hit me. Nobody around me, just a tall figure stepping off the bus. Even from the back I can tell she's furious. Was that my imagination? Did I accidentally hit myself? I rub my still throbbing forehead. Completely lost, I shuffle off the bus. No evening study session tonight. The boarding students head back to their dorms. The day students trickle out one by one. Not far from the school gate, a sleek black car sits parked by the road. Clearly expensive. People stop to look. Lyra instinctively turns to see. I walk toward it, bag on my back. The driver steps out and opens the door. I accept the attentive service as if it's the most natural thing in the world, and get in without rushing. The black car pulls away and is gone in moments. That's Adrian's family car, someone says in surprise. Wasn't it a different one last time? Either way, they're all expensive. You think the nickname Young Master Adrian is just for fun? He's the real deal. A genuine rich kid. Laughter all around. Whoever ends up marrying into the MU family, forget saving 10 years. You'd set for life. Lyra stands in the middle of it all, listening to the snide commentary clearly aimed at her. Her face and voice don't change. Her lowered lashes hide everything underneath. For just a moment she remembers. The bread shared in the dark, the candle they blew out together, the rose that never fell, the eye contact that made it hard to breathe. Lyra can't lie to herself. Her heartbeat has always been more honest than her reason. But the distance from the Villa District to the old alley, she's walked it. She knows how far that road really is. The feelings a young boy declares always run bigger than reality. And what I feel, it floats. It has no ground to stand on. What you can't have is the moon. What you can, just a plain white plate not worth a second glance. Lyra knows it clearly. The moment I get what I want, that's when she starts to lose. Lyra stands at the busy school gate for a long time. Even when a teacher calls to her, she's slow to move. New Year's Day. The first and second year students have been preparing performances, celebrating together in the main hall. The third years, deep in their studying, just have a small gathering in their own classroom. Day students can choose to skip it, but the boarding students make the most of it, blowing up balloons and hanging streamers, determined to squeeze some holiday spirit out of the night. Lyra is tall, so she's on balloon and streamer duty for the higher spots. The weather is biting today. She didn't check the forecast and wore the same outfit as yesterday. Her throat feels dry and raw, the signs of a cold. She pushes through the discomfort and keeps hanging balloons. Then someone at the door calls out, "Genius, someone's here for you!" Someone looking for her? Who? A figure flashes through her mind. The next second she's already walking out. Quick steps. She steps outside, and the cold night wind hits her. Only then does she come back to herself. She finds her own inexplicable anticipation ridiculous. On a holiday, any student who can go home is home with their family. And yet, right now, I'm leaning against a column at the front of the school building, sheltering from the wind. My family has few close relatives of my generation. Most of the people at the gathering are distant cousins, barely connected, making hollow small talk and empty flattery. I finally manage to slip away from the family gathering. I walk down the street. Festival lights hang from every tree along the road. A family strolls past me, laughing and talking. The whole city is lit up and dressed for the holiday. I suddenly feel bored. I keep walking and don't notice where I've ended up. I look up and find myself standing at the school gate. The guard recognizes me. He knows I'm a student here and lets me in. Standing under the school building, I regret it immediately. I'm just about to turn and leave when some classmates coming back from the school shop spot me. They ask curiously why I'm back. Looking for someone, I blurt out. A look of dawning realization crosses their face. Ah, the academic genius, I'll go get her for you. They're so enthusiastic, there's no way to stop them. I wait, and sure enough, Lyra comes down. She really is young, fearless against the cold, dressed in almost nothing on a night like this. I mutter this to myself, bury my face deeper into my puffy coat, and jog over. Lyra sees a round, bundled-up figure running toward her from a distance, and she can hear it calling her name. Lyra. She makes out the red, cold, flushed face. Lyra freezes. Adrian, what are you doing here? The words barely leave her mouth when something crashes into her arms without warning. Lyra's pupils contract. Her heart slams once. Hard. So cold, so cold. I burrow into her arms, complaining like it's her fault. How are you not freezing in that? I'm wearing this much and I'm still cold. I keep burrowing deeper into her. I have no idea what laundry detergent Lyra uses, but it smells incredible. Better than any perfume. I want to get the same one. I make a mental note to ask her later. The warm bundle that launched itself into her arms, the heat of it slowly thaws the cold right through her. Lyra raises her hands to push me away, and they freeze mid-air. After a long pause, she lowers them to her sides in resignation. Not bad. She didn't push me away. My eyes dart around with glee. My big bright eyes crinkle into a smile. That means you're pretty amazing, you know. Lyra's fingers stiffen at her sides. What are you talking about? I'm not talking nonsense. Lyra, are you blushing? Getting more outrageous by the second. Lyra moves to push me away. No way. I'm absolutely fascinated. I stand on my tiptoes and reach up to touch her face. Lyra doesn't move away in time. I get her squarely. The warmth of fingertips against her cheek. Lyra's breath catches. She can't move. I step back and straighten up, putting distance between us. My brow creases. Lyra, do you have a fever? What? Lyra looks like she didn't quite process what I said. A flicker of confusion passes through her calm eyes. How are you this clueless? I reach up and press my palm to her forehead. The heat is alarming. Do you even realize you have a fever? I say through gritted teeth. This time it registers. Her foggy brain slowly grinds into gear. She presses her lips together. Too red, even for the cold. I haven't been feeling great. She'd assumed it was just a minor cold. I'm so frustrated I almost laugh. If I hadn't shown up, Lyra would have burned herself into a fool with that response time. So much for being a powerhouse. I take a deep breath. Hospital, now. Lyra doesn't argue. She follows. Her eyes drift down to where our hands are joined. An ill-timed thought surfaces. Adrian has such slender hands. Just like the rest of him, pampered and fragile, yet one spark and he explodes, like a firecracker. The school nurse has already left for the day. I call our homeroom teacher to explain the situation, then take Lyra to the nearest hospital. They take her temperature, nearly 39.5 degrees Celsius, and still climbing. I look at Lyra's pale, clammy face and ask the doctor, why does she look like she's in so much pain? A high fever hurts, that's how it works, the doctor says, unbothered. For most people, looking that miserable with a fever like this makes perfect sense, but Lyra doesn't seem like someone who can't endure pain. I frown. Can you run a full check on her? My eyes move across Lyra's pale face and stop at her left ear. I think for a moment, then tell the doctor. She had an injury to her left ear in the past. It left her with hearing loss on that side. I'm worried the fever might affect it. The doctor's expression turns serious. That changes things. Lyra lies on the examination bed, dazed from the fever, and lets them run the tests. I head to the payment desk. Fortunately, the results come back fine. Lyra has a strong constitution. Years have passed since the accident with her left ear. The fever has caused some minor inflammation, but nothing serious. The drip needs someone to keep watch. I look at her lying there alone on that hospital bed and sigh. Well, it's not like I can help being kind-hearted. I sit by the bed, chin in hand, watching her. This big idiot, always cold, always sharp-tongued. Lying there in silence like this, she's so much easier to like. Delicate brows, long lashes, a high nose. The discomfort of being sick draws a crease between her brows. Her lips, just the right fullness, are pressed tightly together. The longer I stare, the more restless I feel inside. I reach out and pinch her cheek without thinking twice. The texture is perfect. I don't quite control the pressure. The spot I pinched flushes red against her cool, composed face, and the effect is oddly hilarious. Half asleep Lyra seems to feel it. Her lashes flutter. I immediately rub the spot guiltily. Outside the window, fireworks bloom, lighting up 1,000 homes. The brilliant burst of light fades into nothing, just a flash, and then gone. Lyra's fever hit without warning. The doctor recommends 2 more days of drip treatment in the hospital. I take it upon myself to call the school and arrange 2 days of sick leave on her behalf. The moment school administration hears that their star student is sick, they promptly dispatch a teacher to visit and check in, and thoughtfully bring along her books and test papers. Serena doesn't teach a core subject, so she has more free time. She's the one chosen to make the visit. In the hospital room, Serena sets down an elegant fruit basket and a canvas tote. She asks the polite questions. How are you feeling? Any better? Lyra says she's much better. Serena nods. Neither of them speaks after that. The silence turns awkward. I don't have much warmth for the person who's going to drive my family into ruin. I make an excuse about going to get food and slip out. Lyra doesn't miss the way this new teacher is sizing her up. She asks coolly, "Is there something else, Miss Serena?" Serena glances at the chair I just vacated and smiles. Are the two of you dating? Lyra's brow furrows. Her pale face turns colder. Are you asking that as a teacher? Not exactly, Serena says with a smile. No need to be so guarded. I'm not that much older than you. Under Lyra's unabashedly evaluating stare, Serena abandons any attempt at a gentle approach and gets straight to the point. You must be aware of how Ethan feels about you. I want to know how you feel about it, Lyra says simply. Ethan and I aren't close. Serena's expression cools. Understood. She stands and smooths her clothes. Take care of yourself. Lyra watches her leave, then pulls her gaze back without a trace of feeling. She turns toward the window. He's been gone 40 minutes, just to get food. Out in the corridor, Serena has barely left the building when she runs into me. I'm genuinely carrying food, bags piled up in my arms. Serena walks over. Shouldn't you be in school? I have to look after my girlfriend, I say, proud with just a hint of challenge. Serena smiles. You seem to have a lot of hostility toward me. Not at all, I say, very deliberately. Ms. Serena, every ounce of displeasure is written all over my face. Serena suddenly feels like toying with me a little. Lyra mentioned she wants to go back to school. I wonder what's drawing her there. Serena says, all wide-eyed innocence. Any idea what it could be? What is wrong with this person? Serena seems completely uninterested in my reaction. She asks and walks away, leaving me standing in the wind, completely lost. By the time I get back to the room, it's been half an hour. Lyra is sitting up in bed reading, calm and aloof as always. Something flares in my chest. I yank the book out of her hands. She looks up in confusion. Eat, I say sharply. Lyra presses her lips together and says nothing. 2 days later, Lyra is well enough to go back to school. That very night, I receive a bank transfer. The note reads, medical expenses and miscellaneous costs. It's from Lyra. Playing the role I'm supposed to play, I should refuse. I should want Lyra eating my food, using my things, letting me take care of her. But I think it over and accept it anyway. I hadn't done the math, but it's clear at a glance. What Lyra sent is more than what I covered. Probably everything she earned at the coffee shop over the past month. Gone. 2 days after the fever, I'm only now noticing the shift in Lyra's attitude toward me. Not the unpredictable, hot and cold kind she used to run on. This is a visible, undeniable softening. Anyone can see it. I think to myself, why is Lyra being so cooperative? Has the sun started rising in the west? The moment school ends, I try to quietly slip away, and Lyra blocks the classroom doorway once again. You're not leaving until we go over your mistakes. I stare at her with a face that screams protest but dares not voice it. Under her utterly expressionless resolve, I have no choice but to give in. I swear, if it weren't for the role I have to play, I would hold my head high and walk straight past her, but I'm just a small, pitiful, wicked supporting character. So I sit down and do battle with math problems as instructed. One major problem, wrong, again and again. Even I'm getting annoyed at myself. Yet Lyra walks me through it time after time without a trace of impatience. I watch her profile as she genuinely tries to teach me, and something tangled stirs inside. Lyra turns and asks if I understood. I collect myself, blink a few times, and say with full conviction, got it. Lyra raises an eyebrow. Explain it back to me. I stammer, I don't think that's really necessary. Lyra stares at me without expression. I surrender. Okay, there might be a tiny bit I didn't fully get. My thumb and index finger hover almost touching, working hard to show just how small the gap is. Lyra's lips press into a line. You weren't listening at all, were you? I act like I don't notice she's annoyed. Then just explain it again, I say lazily. Lyra sets her pen down on the desk. Not hard, not soft, just deliberate. I wait. She doesn't speak. I look up in confusion and see that at some point Lyra's face has gone cold. What's wrong? I ask quietly. Lyra says my name. Adrian, I don't like long-distance relationships. I go still. Something about this feels different. I'm not oblivious. I understand exactly what she means. And understanding it is exactly why my heart starts racing. Honestly, from the moment she insisted on tutoring me, I'd already sensed something was shifting. She says it and then just watches me. I put on a face of sudden understanding. Oh, I see. You want us to get into the same university, right? Lyra says nothing. She just looks at me. The weight in my chest gets heavier. My face doesn't show a thing. I sigh. Your scores are amazing. There's no way I'll get into the same school as you. There's still time. I can help you study. I shake my head. I don't want to. I still want to have fun. I see her expression drop and quickly add, being at different schools is fine too. I can apply to the same city as you. Distance isn't the issue. I look at her with puppy eyes. Lyra holds my gaze for a few silent seconds, then turns and walks away. I sit alone in the middle of the classroom watching her walk away, until she's gone. Only then do I let myself blink, slowly, against the sting. After what can only be called a falling out, I expected that with a personality like hers. She'd go back to ignoring me the way she used to. What surprises me is, she acts like it never happened. The very next day in class, she's back to cornering me over problems, with the same determination as if she's going to single-handedly turn me into an academic genius. Study days always drag. But even so, winter break creeps up before you notice it. Since getting together with Lyra, I'd cut back on hanging out with my usual crowd. Lately I've been saying yes to everything again. Club Dark Star, the White Pavilion, South Bank, wherever anyone suggests, I'm there. I kept trying to bring Lyra along. She came once. While I stepped out of the private room, some rich kid took the chance to mock her, said she had a pretty face and used it to climb higher. After that, no matter how many times I suggest she come out with me, Lyra never agrees. The pride of youth runs higher than at any other point in life. I've lived it. I understand that. A sudden feeling settles in. My family might be heading for ruin sooner than I thought. My eyes go wide with helpless fury. Why should I be the one to go bankrupt? The only comfort I can offer myself, this is the fate of the supporting character. Lately, something interesting has been making the rounds in the city's wealthy circles. A piece of high society gossip. The SU family has made a grand show of acknowledging an illegitimate daughter and is throwing a formal recognition ceremony, inviting all sorts of witnesses. As one of the elite families, my family receives an invitation. At the banquet, I use a bathroom excuse to shake off my parents. I find a corner sofa and settle in. I wrap my arms around a plate of petit fours and dig in. My eyes sweep the whole room. Where is Serena? The room goes quiet for just a moment. I look toward the main entrance. Serena makes her entrance in a well-fitted gown. With that warm, composed face of hers, she does carry herself like someone born to this world. Then I remember she's going to ruin my family, and any admiration I had vanishes. The rest of the evening unfolds without a hitch. The head of the Serena's family speaks in deliberately vague terms, saying only that Serena had been lost to the family for many years and was only recently found. Not a single mention of the word illegitimate. Everyone in the room knows the truth, and everyone has the good sense not to say it. This sort of thing isn't unique to the SU family. Every elite household has its secrets. The only difference is whether it surfaces or not. Exposing it would ruin the evening. That the head of the SU family has chosen this moment to bring Serena back means she's being positioned for something important. Everyone here is in business. Future dealings are inevitable, so they all send their younger family members forward to introduce themselves. I stay in my corner, watching Serena handle each new arrival with effortless composure. And somehow my mind drifts to Lyra. If she builds her own empire someday, will she navigate the games of business the way Serena does? Smooth, practiced, relentless? I try to picture Lyra's cold face wearing a polished, hollow smile, and I shudder. I can't even do it. That image is terrifying. I've had enough. I put down my empty plate and step outside for some air. Behind the banquet hall is a garden. This time of year, only the camellias are in bloom, blazing like fire against the deep green branches. I'm not dressed for the cold, so I stay inside, standing in the enclosed corridor, watching through the glass. Unhurried footsteps approach from behind. I turn. Of all people, it's Serena, the star of tonight's event, despite how busy she should be. Serena had spotted me the moment she walked in, curled up on a sofa, going through that plate of cakes. She's been keeping an eye on me from the corner of her vision all night. The moment she saw me put down the plate and head out, she followed on instinct. "Young Master Adrian, we meet again." I give a vague sound of acknowledgement and turn back to the flowers. Serena raises an eyebrow. "You don't seem surprised by who I am." I roll my eyes. "Whose daughter you are has nothing to do with me. It's not like you're mine." Serena takes a slow, deep breath after that remark. Her fingers nearly crush the wine glass. Then something crosses her mind. "It will," she says, and gives me a smile full of meaning I can't quite read. I stare back at her with a completely blank expression. Serena isn't bothered by my coldness. In her eyes, I'm just a hothouse flower. Delicate, decorative, harmless. The moment the glass breaks, how long will this flower last? As the one who will soon shatter that glass with her own hands, she is very much looking forward to seeing what becomes of me. It's not that she has any particular dislike for me, it's just that I'm a threat to someone she cares about, and she's made that person unhappy. So her hand is forced. Inside, her father is calling for her. Serena turns. She stops looking at me. I feel thoroughly unsettled. I don't want to spend another second in her territory. I send a message to my parents. Without waiting for a reply, I wrap myself in my black coat and walk out. The family car is parked outside. My father drove tonight, no driver. I flag down a cab. The driver asks where I'm headed. I think for a moment. Then I give an address. The driver glances back at the grand estate behind me, then at my clothes. Clearly expensive. "You sure?" he asks, a little hesitant. Someone who looks like a rich family's son, heading to the rundown old district? He must have been scammed. I'm shivering in the cold. Barely dressed for the weather. I nod hard. I get there and take a few steps forward. A sharp pain shoots through my ankle, and I go down face first. Of all the luck, I hit my forehead on the way down. Today must be cursed. In the last second before I lose consciousness, I hear the sharp clatter of a bicycle being thrown aside. I come to under a dim yellow light that stabs at my eyes. I reach up to shield them and hit my bruised forehead. The pain is blinding. I open my mouth in a silent scream. I feel again. Gauze. I pull up my trouser leg to look at my ankle. The smell of medicated liniment hits me. My scraped knee has been treated too. I think back to that last sound I heard, and the blurry figure I half saw. It was Lyra. Lyra, on her way home from work, found me face planted in the street. I lie back with a blank face. Inside, I want to die of embarrassment. This isn't even the first time. I can only tell myself to get used to it. A faint scent of clean soap rises from the pillow. I figure out that this must be Lyra's room. I feel uneasy. I get up, step out the bedroom door, and walk into darkness. I feel around and switch on the light, and nearly jump out of my skin. Someone is sitting on the small sofa. It's the middle of the night. I snap at Lyra, who is sitting there in the dark. Why are you sitting here with the lights off? Lyra's eyes are downcast, her expression unreadable. Thinking about what? I squeeze in beside her without a second thought, my voice taking on a sulky edge. You haven't even checked on me. Only then does Lyra slowly shift her gaze to my face. Does it hurt? I scrunch my whole face up. It hurts so much. A glaring bruise on my pale forehead. The skin on my knee is broken, blood seeping through. My ankle is swollen beyond recognition. A pampered boy like me. Of course it hurts. Under the light, there's redness at the edges of Lyra's eyes. Her voice is rough. I didn't know you were coming. If only she had come home a little earlier. Someone as good-looking as me, alone in a dark alley like this. Lyra doesn't let herself think about what could have happened. What terrible thing would have happened to me if she had come any later? I act like I don't notice the shift in her. I didn't tell you I was coming, I say bluntly. Of course you didn't know. Tomorrow I'll have people track them down and make them pay. I'm furious. My mind is already working through how to deal with them. Then it hits me. I never even got a clear look at their faces. One look at this place and it's obvious there are no cameras. My expression shifts. Then a thought hits me and my eyes light up. Lyra lives here too. She might know. Lyra, do you? Before I can finish, someone pulls me into their arms. I'm wrapped entirely in the warmth of her embrace. The grip is so tight it hurts. What's wrong? I'm sorry. Lyra's voice is low and rough, like something soft is lodged in her chest, blocking her breath. I feel a little smothered. I take a deep breath and pretend to be angry. It's all your fault. It's been so many days of break and you haven't once come to find me. I had to come to you. I'm the one who had been deliberately ignoring her, not answering messages, not picking up calls, but in this moment, hearing my muffled complaining, Lyra suddenly stops wanting to argue. It's my fault. I awkwardly let her know she's forgiven. After a long while, Lyra hears me stifle a small yawn. She lets out a slow, quiet sigh. Go to sleep. It's late and I'm injured. She tells me to sleep in her room. I'm barely awake. Still, I manage. What about you? The place is so small. Probably just one bedroom. Lyra brushes her cheek gently against mine. I'll take the sofa. I frown. But the sofa is tiny. Why don't we just... Lyra's composure slips just slightly. She keeps her face stiff. Stop that. Adrian, you're a boy. You need to be more careful about what you say to girls. I pout. But you're my girlfriend. Still not happening. Lyra is perfectly composed, except for the flush creeping up her neck. I dip my head to hide a smile, but what comes out of my mouth is pure indignation. Fine, I'll sleep by myself then. The bedroom door flies shut with a loud bang. Lyra stares at the closed door. The warmth in her eyes slowly fades, replaced by something cold. The alley was too dark. She hadn't gotten a clear look at their faces either, but she can guess. It could only be those people. Half asleep, the pain from my injuries flares again. Sharp and insistent. Tears slip from the corners of my reddened eyes. I bury my face in the pillow and bear it in silence. I don't want to wake Lyra. Warmth settles on my forehead. Someone gently wipes the tears from my eyes. I open my eyes halfway. Lyra is sitting on the edge of the bed, expression unreadable, but her voice is soft. Why are you crying? I pout through the haze. It really hurts. Lyra gathers me halfway into her arms and picks up a cup of warm water from beside the bed. Open. I obediently open my mouth. Lyra places something on my tongue, then guides me to drink and swallow. A painkiller. Go back to sleep. I'll take you to the hospital tomorrow. My skin bruises easily. By morning, my knees and arms are mapped in patches of blue and purple, but I figure that for scrapes and bruises like these, the hospital would just hand me some ointment anyway. Not worth the trip. Lyra can't argue me into it. She carefully redresses my wounds instead. Fortunately, she had gotten into enough fights growing up that she knows exactly how to handle an injury. After we eat, I make up an excuse about not wanting my family to see me like this, and refuse to leave Lyra's place. Lyra takes a day off to stay home and look after me. That evening, I'm curled up on the sofa, cradling the box of strawberries she bought me, scrolling on my phone. I notice Lyra putting on her jacket. Where are you going? Out to get a few things. Don't go anywhere. I look up, unamused. I'm not a child. I wait for Lyra to leave before I put the phone down. I pick up a vivid red strawberry, eat it and sigh. Sweet and tart and full of juice. A small box like this probably cost a fair bit. She watches every penny for herself, but she'll still go and buy me things. I start to feel a little guilty eating them. Meanwhile, over at the abandoned warehouse, a few girls are crouched inside playing a game. It's their secret hideout. Another beer bottle gets hurled at the wall, bounces to the floor and spins in place. The bleach blonde one scowls. Do any of you actually know how to play? I'm done. My luck is terrible today. The scrawny girl beside her sees the sour mood and immediately plasters on a smile. Her eyes flick. You're right, games are boring anyway. Heard there's a new bar that just opened on the west side, apparently it's packed. How good could it be? The blonde scoffs. If we're talking something worth talking about, nothing beats what we ran into the other night. Rich family's son, obviously. Skin so fair, you'd almost think you could squeeze juice out of it. They all clearly remember. They're off. Crude words flying, getting louder. The blonde grins wide, eyes drifting, clearly daydreaming with way too much enthusiasm. Then something else crosses her mind. She unleashes a string of curses and kicks a beer bottle. And of course that devil herself had to show up. At the name, the laughter dies. They all look at each other. One of them is newer to the group. She doesn't know Lyra's reputation yet. She speaks with complete confidence. So what if he's Lyra's? If you want him, even if he's her most prized possession, I'll take him for you. A kick comes out of nowhere. The girl who said it goes flying more than a meter back. The others leap to their feet in shock. They huddle together, staring at the newcomer in fear. The blonde is the first to recover. Lyra, what do you think you're doing? Lyra's face, always cold, is now something darker, dangerously so. She takes one step forward. They take one step back, until there's nowhere left to go. Nobody dares to move in. Too scared to strike back, they stand at a distance and scream. Lyra, you can't just hit people. The blonde catches her breath. Now, strangely, she's not afraid anymore. She exhales. I know why you're here. Sooner or later, he's going to be mine. You're asking for it. Lyra spits the words out, one by one. She shoves them away, her face ice cold. I rush over, and this is what I walk into. I've never seen Lyra like this before. Her eyes are frighteningly cold. I freeze. I snap out of it fast, push through the pain in my ankle, and run toward her. I grab her arms from behind. Stop it, Lyra. Fighting isn't the answer. The fear in my voice pulls her back to herself. My grip is weak, yet somehow she doesn't break free. Her voice comes out rough and ragged. Who told you to come? Go back. No, then walk with me. Lyra doesn't move. Panic surges through me. My eyes are already turning red. Lyra, I'm scared. Please, can we just go together? My pleading voice, cracking with tears, hits her like a hammer to the chest. Lyra's clenched fingers slowly loosen. She takes my trembling hand in hers. Her gaze sweeps coldly over the group cowering nearby. This isn't over. We walk in silence along the dark, empty path. My head is full of questions. Since when does Lyra lose her cool like that? Is this really the same Ice Queen straight-A student? I round on her furious. You said you were going out to buy something. Buy what? A fight? I'm genuinely angry. My face is flushed red and I probably look ridiculous. Sharp features burning with indignation. Lyra says nothing. She has no comeback, so she goes quiet, and somehow that silence makes me even angrier. I yank my hand out of hers and storm ahead. Lyra snaps out of it, catches up in 2 strides and takes my hand again. Adrian. I pull away again. She's going to hear it from me tonight. Fighting is dangerous. Today I got there in time, but what about next time? The thought trails off in my throat. Something deflates inside me. My resistance fades. You did this for me. I should be thanking you. A flash of disappointment crosses my eyes, and Lyra feels it like a stone dropping in her chest. A sudden, awful fear of losing something grips her. Lyra tightens her grip without thinking, pulling me close until we're pressed together. I'm sorry. Lyra's voice is low and rough, at a loss. I look up at her and ask, what are you apologizing for? What did you do wrong? Confusion flickers in Lyra's eyes. All she did was teach a lesson to the people who were bullying me. She doesn't know what she did wrong, but if she upset me, then she must have done something wrong. So she apologizes. She just hopes I'll stop being angry with her. I close my eyes and push down every thought that shouldn't be there. After she apologizes, Lyra just breathes and waits for my verdict. That face of hers, always cool, always distant, shows something rare. Anxiety. I squeeze out 2 dramatic tears. They were bullying me, and you didn't even bring me along to get them back? Something that satisfying, and you sneak off to do it alone? Now look, after all that, there's nothing left for me to do. So that's it. A faint, quiet disappointment passes through Lyra. Even she isn't sure where it comes from. She tucks a loose strand of hair behind my ear. Her voice is soft. My bad. I turn my face away. Lyra can't read my expression. Her hand freezes mid-air until she hears me whine, and she finally exhales. Lyra, my foot really hurts. Carry me? A spoiled young master who has never known hardship, doing whatever he pleases, always looking for someone to push around. Exactly the type of person Lyra has always had the least patience for. And yet, one sentence from me, and she bends down willingly. Late December brings a heavy snowfall, blanketing the entire city in white. The night before, I was still lounging comfortably in that big mansion. Now, without warning, bank officials have shown up and thrown me out. The group has collapsed. Adrian's father has fled the country with the money. Adrian's mother has taken her own life. The mansion and the company are both seized. Even the bank cards in my wallet are frozen. The golden boy, fallen from the sky to the gutter overnight, and half the world is waiting to watch me squirm. More than a few people I've wronged are already circling. Some friends reach out, genuinely worried, but despite everyone looking, no one can find me. Overnight, it's as if I never existed at all. Far from the city, at a quiet little inn, I sleep until well past noon. Same as always. I take my time washing up, then shuffle over to the inn's small dining room for something to eat. The inn is run by an elderly couple. Lunch is simple. 4 dishes, a soup, and a few sliced salted duck eggs. Savory and satisfying. Besides me, there are 4 other guests, 2 art students who came to sketch. and 2 girls on a trip. We all eat together around the same table. I finish eating and head straight back to my room, keeping to myself, not giving any of them a chance to talk to me. The curtains are open, but the room is dim. Since arriving at the inn, my phone has been off the whole time. I drop onto the bed. I turn the TV on, not to watch, just to have some noise. I let out a long, miserable sigh. There's barely anything left in my account. Have I really fallen this far? Should have saved more. All I have now is just over 1,000 yuan to my name. And I have to stay here for 6 years. I sit with that thought for a moment. Lyra can't find me here, right? But what would she even want with me? A bitter smile crosses my face. Naturally, I think, because she likes me. But 6 years is a long time. Long enough for her to realize someone else is the real thing. I don't let myself look sad. I just turn my phone on. The moment it powers up, a flood of messages and missed calls, most of them from one person, Lyra. I stare at the screen. A few seconds of silence that somehow feels suffocating. A knock at the door pulls me back. I open it. It's the 2 girls staying downstairs. The round-faced one grins at me. Hey little guy, wanna ring in the new year with us tonight? Her name is Susu. The girl beside her is Min, her childhood best friend. Both of them grew up without parents, raised together in an orphanage. Every Lunar New Year, instead of going home to family they don't have, they travel somewhere together. Min is soft-spoken. She gives me a quiet smile. I don't say no. I follow them downstairs. I'd almost forgotten. It's New Year's Eve. The 2 art guys aren't going home either. The 5 of us head to a nearby convenience store and load up on snacks and drinks. We also grab a whole armful of fireworks, all kinds. When it's time to pay, I can barely hide the pain on my face. Since when did fireworks get this expensive? 10 yuan for a handful of sparklers? When they find out I just turned 18 and I'm still in high school, the 420-somethings immediately go soft on me. They all insist the kid just tags along and doesn't pay. I have zero shame about this. I turn on the charm. All sweetness, thank you, thank you, thank you. The sudden personality switch leaves all 4 of them blinking. The innkeepers make dumplings. We all sit around together, dumplings, a bit of drinking, and dusk slowly settles in. I hug my bag of fireworks and head out to the courtyard, perfectly content. I've changed into a long black puffer coat for the occasion. Hat on, bundled up entirely, just my face showing, pale and bare against the dark coat. Lanterns flicker on in the courtyard. A sparkler lights up in my hand, all colors blooming in my eyes. Out of nowhere, I think of Lyra. What's she doing tonight, all alone? Probably no dumplings for her. Same as any other night most likely. A quick meal, then back to that old desk with a stack of practice papers. Surely she's not working a shift tonight. Even she can't be that indifferent to the holiday. Susu calls out to me. She wants me to light the big fireworks, the kind that shoots up and bursts open in the sky. I go over, thrilled. The first one's a dud. The second one rockets up. With a deep boom, the firework bursts open in the air. Pop, 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 blossoming into a burst of light. It lights up the sky and the glow falls on every face below, all of them smiling, except for the tall, slender figure standing quietly not far away. She has sharp, delicate features, cold and composed, but something is churning behind her eyes. Her lips are pressed tight. She moves slowly, like a weary traveler who has finally found her way home. The laughter around me fades. Firework after firework blooms above, trailing golden light, dissolving into the sky behind her. My smile goes completely still. A storm of emotions crashes through me, but the most overwhelming feeling of all is bafflement. How on earth did Lyra find me here? I have no answer, but there's no time to figure it out. My heart pounds. With every step she takes toward me, guilt and panic rise in my chest. I want to run, but my feet are rooted to the ground. What do? I try to hold myself together. There's still a frozen smile on my face, but my eyes give me away completely. It must look ridiculous. Only when she's close enough do I see the red veins in her eyes, the kind that only comes from going too long without sleep. Lyra stops. Her throat moves. She opens her mouth, like she wants to say something, then swallows it back. Her hand trembles slightly at her side, but slowly, carefully, she reaches out and touches my face. Her fingers are cool, but they're real. Undeniably real. Under the burst of fireworks, Lyra pulls me hard into her arms. She bows her head, pressing her chin into the curve of my neck. I can feel her breath, fast and unsteady. It's hot against my skin, and I instinctively flinch, but she holds on tight. A few seconds pass, her voice comes out hoarse. Why didn't you pick up? Not an accusation, just a genuine question. I manage a flat reply. I didn't see it. I called so many times, she says. So many messages. You never responded. I'm still scrambling for an excuse. When Lyra says quietly and bitterly, Adrian, have you been lying to me this whole time? My eyes widen slightly. My lashes tremble. You don't actually like me that much, do you? So when everything fell apart at home, you said nothing. You'd rather run away alone to a place like this and watch me search for you like a headless fly and still say nothing. Cold sweat breaks out on my forehead. I blurt out, no, that's not it. I do like you. I just, what? My eyes burn red. My voice breaks. I was just afraid of losing you. Lyra goes still. My voice cracks. Lyra, the group is gone. I have nothing left. I was scared you'd use this as your chance to leave me. I know you never really liked me. You were only with me because I pushed you into it. Lyra wants to argue, but something catches in her throat. I know I'm a mess, and now I don't even have a home. I'm still crying. voice shaking, barely getting the words out. Lyra, please don't leave me. I cry like the world is ending. But somewhere inside I'm bracing for her to say no. And then close to my ear comes Lyra's voice, low, full of feeling. Okay, I'm too busy crying to say anything, but Lyra thinks this is all just insecurity. Her heart aches even more for me. She presses a gentle kiss to my forehead. Adrian, don't worry, I'm not leaving you. Lyra's arrival is a surprise, but she's welcomed warmly. I'm pretty sure it's the face. Everyone drops the fireworks and crowds around her, prying into what's going on between us. Susu lets out a gasp. Wait, you're 18 too? I thought you were around our age. She catches herself immediately and backtracks. I don't mean you look old, just mature, you know? Susu gives up on explaining. Not like, looks mature. You get what I mean? Lyra gives her a polite smile. Susu promptly shuts up. I hold back a laugh. I know exactly how Susu feels. The first time I saw Lyra, I thought the same thing. She was just different from everyone else around her. It wasn't about how she looked. It was the way she carried herself. Calm, unhurried, utterly self-possessed. A hard and complicated childhood had forced her to grow up far too soon. She never got to be reckless and carefree the way teenagers are supposed to be. Life hit her hard and fast, and she had no choice but to stumble her way through it and grow. There are no spare rooms at the inn. Susu and Min offer to share their room with Lyra for the night. I let out a nearly invisible breath of relief, but I also can't help sighing. What am I supposed to do? I'll just go along with her for now and figure out a reason to make her leave on her own later. Early the next morning, Lyra quietly packs up my things. I trail after her like a scolded child. Lyra sighs and tells me to sit down and wait. We say goodbye to the others. I get in the car with Lyra, and we head back. It's the first day of the Lunar New Year. Buses aren't running. Luckily, a few taxi drivers are still out making a living. The ride from the inn to Old Lane Street costs over 200 yuan. I watch Lyra scan the code and pay. I lower my eyes. Thinking back, even when I was still the young master of Mew Group, Lyra never once let me pay for anything. Every expensive gift I sent her was returned, untouched. I instantly regret it. If only I'd forced her to keep them. Maybe I could have sold them for something now. Lyra has no idea what's going through my head. She sees me standing at the door with a pained expression and thinks I don't want to come in. She says quietly, Adrian, just bear with it a little longer. I won't always be this broke. Her eyes are serious. It hits me. I'm not bothered by her poverty at all. Anyone with eyes can see that Lyra's future is bright, but I keep up the act anyway. Your bed is so small, and the mattress is like a plank. Lyra runs a hand over the mattress. She doesn't feel anything wrong with it. She looks at my face. Soft, fair-skinned, still a little round with baby fat. I am, she thinks, too much like a child, wanting everything, running from anything hard. Time doesn't seem to have done anything to me. I haven't grown up. Still precious, still complaining, still unable to take even a little hardship. Without a word, Lyra pulls a thick quilt from the wardrobe and layers it under the mattress. Soft, comfortable. I finally stop complaining. I bounce on it a couple of times and look up. Beaming, I move into Lyra's small apartment and shamelessly take over her bed. The actual owner of the place sleeps on the living room couch. Lyra is tall. On that couch, her long legs have nowhere to go but awkwardly propped against the floor. One night I get up for water, and that's what I find. I stand there for a long time, until the water in my cup goes cold, then I go back to bed. Lyra keeps going to her part-time jobs, same as always, because now she has one more demanding high-maintenance person to feed. She goes back to Club Dark Star. Mornings, make breakfast, then off to the cafe. Midday, come back to bring me lunch, then head to Club Dark Star. Evenings, home again to cook and help me study. Even I have enough self-awareness to know what a burden I am, so I start taking over the cooking and cleaning on my own. When Lyra comes home that evening, she sees the steaming dishes on the table and thinks she's walked into the wrong apartment. She steps back out, checks the door, comes back in. Is there delivery around here? I glare at her. I made that. Tomato and egg stir-fry, sautéed greens, rice porridge. It doesn't really look like takeout, to be fair. Under my eager gaze, Lyra takes a bite. The second it's in her mouth, I demand, well, the salt is short, the oil is short. It tastes more like vegetables boiled in plain water. But looking into my wide, bright, expectant eyes, she slowly nods. It's good, she says graciously. I immediately take a bite myself. My face falls. Lyra, you lied to me. Lyra insists it's good. I tell her there's something wrong with her taste buds. The cool edges of her expression soften just slightly. She says nothing more. Her parents died when she was very young. She grew up depending on the kindness of others. Back then, all that mattered was having something in her stomach. She couldn't afford to notice whether it tasted good or bad. When she grew up and could earn her own money, her meals were mostly steamed buns and fast food. For years and years after that, her idea of home cooking was bland sautéed greens and tomato and egg with a heavy hand of soy sauce. As school approaches, Lyra notices something's off with me. I've been distracted every day. I'm barely doing the practice problems she sets for me. One evening after dinner, she's going over problems with me again. Lyra asks me the same question several times. I just stare at the paper, nothing. Lyra sets her pen down on the wooden table with a sharp click. I snap back. I wasn't spacing out. She just looks at me quietly. I crack. I look down. I'm a bit tired today. Can we do this tomorrow? Lyra doesn't buy it. What's actually going on? Nothing, I mutter. The one thing Lyra cannot stand is being lied to. Her face goes cold. Tell me the truth. She's not going to drop this. I close my eyes, grit my teeth, and just say it. I don't want to go back to school. I mean it. This isn't a performance. I genuinely don't want to go. School means tuition and living expenses. Even eating is a problem right now. Lyra is barely managing on her own as it is, and now there's me on top of that. I look down, my lashes hiding what I really feel. She just assumes I'm going back to my old ways, refusing to grow up, too comfortable to try. If you don't go to school, Lyra says, what are you going to do with yourself? I can hear the controlled anger underneath her words, so I decide to push it. What's the point anyway? I say flatly. You can take care of me, just like you're doing now. In all of Lyra's life, no one has ever said that to her before. If anyone else heard me say that, any reasonable person would tell Lyra to kick me out immediately, taking everything for granted, blind to how hard things are for the person giving. How much can that kind of love really be worth? The silence wraps tight around both of us. After a long moment, Lyra speaks. No. Without waiting to see how I react, she turns and walks out. Lyra is not an impulsive person. She has always thought through the consequences before she acts. The moment she let me move in, she had already made her peace with supporting me for the rest of her life. But her version of support and mine are not the same thing. She wants me to study like a normal kid, go to university, find work I actually care about, not necessarily brilliant, just capable of standing on my own 2 feet, able to have a good life even without her. Life is long. No one can guarantee she'll always be there. She wants me to be happy, even if she's gone. Lyra has her own selfish wishes too. Part of her wouldn't mind if I leaned on her forever, but she'd rather I stayed because I wanted to, not because I needed to, not because she happened to be a safe harbor. Lyra makes up her mind. For the next few days, no matter how much I whine and sulk and throw fits, Lyra doesn't budge. On the first day of term, I go to school. I sit on the back of Lyra's bicycle. I'm too annoyed to hold onto her waist. My head bounces against her back with every bump in the road. When we're still a few hundred meters from school, Lyra stops and tells me to get off and walk. What's the big deal? You couldn't ride me just a little further? I demand, outraged. Lyra glances at me, says nothing, rides away. Left behind, I throw a few furious punches at the air. I drag my bag strap over my shoulder, head down, trudging toward school, when I hear someone calling my name from far away. Running footsteps, heavy breathing. Adrian, you little jerk, where the hell have you been this whole month? Do you have any idea how many times I called you? You've got a lot of nerve. Nova rattles on like a machine gun. But listen closely. There's a crack in her voice. Guilt, an unfamiliar feeling, rises in me. I fumble for Nova's sleeve. Hey, don't cry. Who's crying? Fine, you're not crying, I'm crying. Happy? When it comes to keeping my friends in a good mood, I have endless patience. Nova refuses to let me, the heartless one, see her upset. She blinks the tears back. What do you have to cry about? You're not the one who got dumped as a friend. When did I ever say that? I press my fingers to my temple. Nova, I never meant it like that. Then why did you ignore every call and every message I sent? Nova is more sensitive than she lets on. She takes a breath. Is it because you thought, now that you're not the young master of Mew Group anymore, I'd stop being your friend? Is that really who you think I am? I genuinely didn't see that coming. In this moment, I see Nova differently, more clearly than before. I feel 100 things at once. I coax and comfort her until she finally softens. We walk to class together. Nova is still holding on to the stiff expression, but then something crosses her mind and she frowns. Where have you been staying? Do you still have money? I've been staying. I stop mid-sentence. Something clicks. I meet Nova's questioning look and force out a different answer. A hotel. Nova doesn't question it. She just asks, is money tight? I've got some on me. I'll transfer it to you later. Take it for now. I shake my head, flushing with guilt. No, I'm fine. I have enough. If I ever run out, I won't be shy about it. Nova's expression finally eases. I feel the tension leave my shoulders too. At the same time, something bittersweet rises in my chest. I thought Lyra was being petty about the distance, but she was protecting me. The news about Mew Group has spread like wildfire. I'm the talk of the school, the poor little rich boy with nowhere to go. If someone had seen me arrive with Lyra, word would have gotten out that we're living together, and worse rumors would have followed, and I'd be the one who suffers most from that kind of talk. That woman of so few words, can't she just say what she means? If I weren't so sharp, Lyra would have taken the blame all on her own without a word. In the classroom, I shoot a loaded glance across at Lyra. Lyra acts like she doesn't see it. Fine. I open my textbook and half-heartedly flip through English vocabulary to the sound of everyone around me reciting aloud. Mew Group has fallen, and I was never exactly known for being humble. I've made plenty of enemies at this school. I figure someone will come to gloat soon enough, with their snide remarks and backhanded comments. But the first person who shows up is Ethan. Morning study hall ends. The homeroom teacher calls me into the office. I won't say what was discussed, but when I come back, I start packing up my things. Classmates start whispering. What did the teacher want with him? Why is he packing up? Isn't it obvious? He's being moved down. With those mock exam scores, he should have been in standard class ages ago. The only reason he lasted this long in elite class was the MU family name. Now that Mew Group is gone, the school's not giving him any more special treatment. The murmurs come from every direction. Nobody bothers to keep their voice down, as if that's the whole point. Lyra notices my hands moving faster as I pack. Head down. From where she sits, she can see my long lashes trembling just slightly. The golden boy has fallen hard, crashed from the heights into the mud, surrounded by people laughing at will. Without someone to watch over me, I'd be easy prey. And with a face like mine, someone would surely try to use that against me. Something darkens behind Lyra's eyes. Meanwhile, the person at the center of all this ridicule, that's me, is busily packing and thinking. Standard class has got to be more relaxed than elite class. Please let the study atmosphere be lighter. I cannot survive the intensity. I catch myself smiling and quickly wipe it off my face, pretending I'm not pleased. But to everyone watching, that gesture looks like I'm holding back tears. My wrist is suddenly caught. I follow the hand, sharp, well-defined knuckles, and my gaze lands in Lyra's steady, deep eyes. I can't explain it, but she seems unhappy. I'll walk you over. Lyra releases my wrist and starts helping me pack. I have no idea what's going on, but someone's helping me, so I'm happy. Lyra is faster and neater than I am, and somehow pleasant to watch. I sit back down shamelessly, chin in hand, watching her with a smile. It's at this moment that Ethan walks over, voice soft. Lyra, the English teacher wants you to go to the office and pick something up. First period is English. As academic representative, it makes sense the teacher would send Lyra for materials, but usually it's the English class rep who handles this kind of errand. Lyra frowns slightly. The teacher specifically asked for me? Ethan's eyes flicker. He nods a little too quickly. Lyra is about to say the class rep can handle it when I tug her sleeve. Just go. I've got it, Lyra says, in a tone that leaves no room for argument. I said I'd walk you over. You can't carry all this yourself. Ethan jumps in quickly. I'll help him. He catches my unreadable look and shifts his gaze away fast, turning to Lyra instead. Classmates should look out for each other. Let me walk Adrian over. Even with Ethan saying all that, Lyra shows no sign of leaving. It's me who wants to see what Ethan is really up to, so I push Lyra to go. Getting from one class to standard class means going down a flight of stairs. Plenty of students see us along the way, murmuring about what's going on. I act like I don't notice. Ethan watches me for a moment. Seeing how unbothered I look clearly unsettles him. He can't help himself. Doesn't this embarrass you at all? I look at him like he said something strange. Why would I be embarrassed? Plenty of people got placed in standard class at the start of the year. Nobody called that embarrassing. Why would my situation be any different? The difference is they were assigned there from the beginning. You got pushed out of elite class halfway through. You really think those are the same thing? I'm working hard to keep my expression neutral. All these people staring, don't they have class to get back to? Fortunately, once Ethan realizes I'm not taking the bait, he stops dragging his feet on purpose. We reach standard class quickly. Ethan places my things at an empty seat in the back row. He offers a few considerate words of comfort, more or less telling me not to feel bad about being moved out of elite class. I watch him walk away, and I find myself thinking, the world is a strange place. Since when did Ethan become so considerate? Standard class is mostly made up of kids from comfortable middle-class families, not particularly driven academically. They can always pay their way to a degree abroad. These were people I never had much to say to before. Even at parties, I'd look right through them. But now that the news about new group has made the rounds, what was once rumor is confirmed the moment they see me transferred out of elite class. I'm really not the young master of MU group anymore. The teacher lectures at the front of the room. I feel eyes drifting over me from multiple directions, lingering on my face. I get tired of it and glare back. A girl with dyed red hair, cocky looking, a bit of a troublemaker vibe. I don't know her. When she notices me looking, she blinks, then breaks into a wide, unbothered grin. I'll give her this. There's something bold about her look. Shame about the whole aesthetic. Tang catches every bit of the disdain in my stare, and doesn't miss a thing. Still as stuck up as ever, she thinks. She runs a hand through her red hair and grins wider. When class ends, I grab my cup and head to get water. This cheerful yellow cup was just bought for me by Lyra. When I had money, I'd just buy a bottle of water whenever I was thirsty. Now that I don't, I fill my own cup to survive. The water dispenser is near the door. I've barely taken 2 steps when a wall of a person appears in front of me. I move left, she moves left, I move right, she moves right. After the second time, I'm fed up. I look up, glaring. It's the red-haired girl. You're in my way. Tang looks delighted by my annoyance. I know. I'm doing it on purpose. I give her a flat look. You're incredibly boring. Tang grins. Am I? Thirsty? I'll get you some water. I pull my cup back and step aside from her outstretched hand. Not interested. Come on, young master. No bad intentions. I just want to get on your good side. If I believed that, I'd be an idiot. My expression goes cold. Move. Tang doesn't budge. She steps forward, about to say something else, when the bell saves me. I never get my water. I shoot her one last glare and return to my seat. Halfway through class, I can barely stand it. My mouth is completely dry. I notice the girl in front of me has a bottle of water on her desk. I scoot my desk closer. I tap her back. Gently, she turns. I ask, a little sheepish, could I have a little of your water? Then I quickly add, I'll buy you a new one after class. The girl looks hesitant, then gives in. Go ahead. My eyes light up. I beam at her. Thank you. She looks a little flustered. No problem. A few sips of cool, sweet water, and the dryness finally fades. The moment class ends, I slip out the back door at a jog. I stop when I spot a convenience store. I grab an identical bottle of water from the shelf. I pay and head back to the classroom. And the moment I step out, I see Lyra standing under a tree not far away. I don't know how long she's been there, but every girl who walks past steals a glance at her. Lyra's eyes land on the bottle in my hand for just a moment. Then she walks over unhurried. Thirsty? I shake my head. No, I'm returning it to someone. Lyra frowns. What happened? I immediately make a face and launch into the whole story. I give Tang a thorough verbal lashing in the process. That girl is out of her mind, blaming her entirely for my thirst. I was dying of thirst. That's why I had to borrow from someone. For just a moment, Lyra's expression shifts. Before I can get a proper look, she's composed again. Got it, she says. I haven't figured out what she means by that, but Lyra is already walking away. I don't think too hard about it. I go return the water. The girl who lent me the water clearly didn't expect me to actually follow through. She looks surprised. You didn't have to. It's just water. Keep it. No, I say. That's 2 yuan. Something complicated crosses her face. The boy who once bought things without even glancing at the price tag. Counting 2 yuan. Funny how life turns. After afternoon classes, I finally understand what Lyra meant by got it. I'm heading to find her for dinner when Tang cuts me off. Through all the hassle, I learn that the red-haired girl is called Tang, and her family is in the jewelry business. Tang insists on taking me to dinner. Come on, young master. Your pick of venue, my treat. I don't want to pick anywhere. I try to push past her. Tang's hand darts out toward my wrist. When something hits her arm hard, the impact is enough to make her wince. Tang lets out a yelp and looks up to see who dared. She meets a pair of cold, dark eyes, and instinctively steps back. By the time she recovers, the person has already pulled me away. Tang seethes and shouts something after us. Lyra walks fast, face dark, pulling me along. I can't keep up. I keep telling her to slow down. She ignores me. Finally, at a turn in the hallway, I wrench my hand free. I face her dark expression, and I'm both hurt and angry. I told you to slow down. Why were you walking so fast? You're upset? I'm not even upset. My voice is soaked in grievance. Lyra's expression softens just a little, but her face stays cool. Why didn't you tell me? I meet Lyra's dark gaze, and suddenly it clicks. You mean Tang? You even know her name. Lyra's eyes go colder. I roll my eyes. She's just mouthy. I was ignoring her. You're not even in my class. What good would telling you do? Besides, Tang's family has money. You'd be at a disadvantage going up against her. Lyra stares at me in silence for a moment. Let's go eat first. Then you're going back to class to pack up your things. I blink. Then I snap my head up. Pack up what things? Lyra says nothing more. She just turns and strides toward the cafeteria. How am I supposed to eat when she leaves a sentence unfinished like that? I jog to catch up and press the question close to her ear. What do you mean, pack up? Lyra, talk to me. Lyra looks straight ahead, doesn't slow down. Eat first. Ask again and I won't tell you at all. I stamp my foot and shut up, fuming. I fall in behind Lyra. The moment we walk into the cafeteria, heads turn, as expected. I barely ate this morning. The thick, savory smell of cafeteria food hits me right away. I swallow and whisper close to Lyra's ear. I want the noodles. Lyra heads to the food counter and tells me to go find a seat. I look around and sit somewhere close to where she's ordering. Not too far. Students line up ahead of her. Lyra moves steadily forward in the middle of the queue. She's wearing the same uniform as everyone else, but you'd recognize her from behind in an instant. She's really tall now. I find myself thinking about the first time I saw Lyra. A tall girl, growing too fast for her meals to keep up with. Thin and in a way that made her look sharp. Her already cold features made even more distant by that edge. Now she's even taller. Still just as lean, but compared to 2 years ago, there's a layer of practiced, polite distance now. A mask she's learned to wear. Even behind that mask, Lyra finds me in the crowd without any effort at all. She carries both trays over and sits across from me. She opens the noodles and a steaming serving of potato chicken for me, slides it across, hands me a pair of chopsticks. I accept all of this without a shred of guilt, nodding happily. I lift a chopstick full of noodles, and catch a glimpse of Lyra's tray out of the corner of my eye. A large serving of rice, a few stalks of greens. Why did you only get greens for yourself? Something flickers across Lyra's face for just a moment. Brief as it is, I understand without knowing why. Even cafeteria greens have to be better than plain boiled vegetables. Lyra just replies, flat and easy, not very hungry. I look down and eat my noodles. But for some reason, the potato chicken doesn't taste as good as that first bite. Lyra eats fast and quietly. A bite of greens, a bite of rice. Her face gives nothing away. Then a piece of chicken and sauce appears on top of her rice. Lyra pauses mid-bite and looks up. I snap my gaze away and bury myself back in my noodles. The air between us goes still and thick. A quiet understanding spreads without a word. Out of the corner of my eye, I watch her eat it. I smile. The noodles taste better now. After that, pieces of chicken and potatoes start appearing on Lyra's rice every so often. And once, a piece of ginger disguised as potato. Lyra quietly spits it out. And so the days go by. One evening, the sound of chopping comes from the kitchen. Tomato and egg stir fry. Scramble the eggs first. Add the tomatoes. Stir until they come together. Then season. I step back and admire the result. It actually looks good. Old duck soup simmers on low heat. Multigrain rice steams in the pressure cooker. 2 more dishes and we're done. Lotus root is good for the body this time of year. I take some out and head to the sink to wash it. I'm halfway through washing when the doorbell rings. I messaged Lyra just a few minutes ago. She's back already? Those few seconds it takes me to reach the door. The bell rings the whole time without pause. Who is it? So impatient. The door opens. The woman at the door doesn't even look up. She speaks like she already owns the place. Hey, is there food I could eat? Following her gaze along fair, slender calves, Willa slowly raised her head. Her eyes go wide. What are you doing here? I must have just gotten out of the shower. I'm in loose, comfortable home clothes. I look like I've been living here for years. You're living together? Willa is stunned. I didn't expect it to be Willa either. She's my employer. I remind myself of that. I start to invite her in politely, but looking at her face, my forced smile gives out. I roll my eyes. The housekeeper took the day off. There are snacks on the table, cake in the fridge. Help yourself. Thanks. Willa's mouth moved faster than her brain. She catches herself, then follows me to the kitchen. Wait, are you actually living with Lyra? I look at her. My name isn't Hay, and why would I tell you anything? Willa thinks this attitude. She and Lyra are cut from the same cloth. She lets out a huff. Fine, don't tell me. I don't even want to know. I ignore her and throw a thumbs up over my shoulder. The least effort possible. So, Willa, I ask, what are you actually here for? Willa crosses her arms and mimics my earlier line right back at me. Why would I tell you? I give her my best blank stare. After a moment, when she sees I really am not going to ask again, she cracks first. She clears her throat. Day after tomorrow is my grandfather's birthday. I came to drop off an invitation for Lyra. She pulls a red and gold invitation card from her pocket. Then, with a perfectly imperious tone, you can come along with Lyra if you like. I don't fall for it. You didn't invite me, I'm not going. Willa's eyes drift around the room. She spots a black marker on the TV console. She flips the card open and adds 2 more words after Lyra's name, Adrian. Then she shoves it in my face. Happy now? You're so petty, I'm your employer, you know. Alright. I look at the crooked little addition to the card and can't help laughing. Willa narrows her eyes at me. I straighten up. I'll pick a proper gift. Thank you, Willa. Willa gives a satisfied nod. A genuinely well-bred daughter of a great family. And she insists on acting like a complete goofball. How on earth did she and Lyra become friends? I have no idea, and I don't dare ask. I go back to cooking looking reasonably competent. Willa checks the time and announces she's staying for dinner. Then, as if afraid I'll say no, she immediately retreats from the kitchen to the living room. On the living room table sits a supermarket bag full of snacks of every kind. The fridge is packed too. Eggs, cake, and rows of colorful drinks. The open balcony lets in the last warm light of the setting sun. A small white cat is sprawled belly up, fast asleep. A wave of cooking smells drifts in from the kitchen now and then. The whole place feels lived in and warm. Something complicated passes over Willa's face for a moment. She almost wonders if she's walked into the wrong apartment. I finish the last dish. Simple sautéed greens. I don't want it to go cold, so I'll wait before setting the table. I send Lyra a message asking where she is. 10 minutes pass. No reply. She must be busy, I tell myself. At 6:10, I hear a car pull into the courtyard. My eyes light up. I jog outside. Before she's even out of the car, I start complaining. Lyra, you took forever. The car door opens. First thing I see, those long legs. I enjoy the view long enough, then lift my face, ready to show off all the dishes I've made, and I walk straight into the emptiness of her eyes. Cold, blank. I stop. What's wrong? Images of the two of us together flash through Lyra's mind. Every one of them is sharp and clear. The closeness, the separation, the reunion. She lived through all of it. Yet she feels like a stranger watching it from outside. Still, empty. She knows this isn't right. Lyra drops her gaze. She doesn't answer. Let's go in, she says, neither warm nor cold. I stand there until she passes me, then snap back. I follow her inside, frowning. Lyra, finally. If you'd taken any longer, I would have eaten everything Adrian cooked. Willa's joke dies when she sees the blankness on Lyra's face, and the silence behind me. She trails off. Did you two fight? She mouths at me, making a face. I shake my head slightly. I don't know either. The atmosphere at the table is strange enough that Willa regrets staying for dinner. She mentions the birthday banquet one more time, then makes a quick exit. Just the two of us left at the table. So quiet it feels wrong. Just the sound of chopsticks against plates. I can't hold it in. I followed a recipe for all of this. You haven't said a word. My voice is quiet, carrying a grievance I'm trying not to show. Lyra lifts her eyes, looks at me briefly, then looks away. She's searching, reaching back into who she used to be for the right thing to say. After a long pause, you did great. It's the kind of thing she would have said before, but something about it feels off. The words land wrong. I frown. Did something happen today? You've been acting strange. I can't put my finger on it, but I have the feeling she's hiding something. What could have happened? She got my message, drove home for dinner, a completely ordinary evening. Lyra shakes her head. Nothing, just tired. I accept that. The tension in me eases. Then take a hot shower tonight and get some rest. Lyra murmurs her assent. Through the whole dinner, she never once meets my eyes, and so I naturally don't see what's been there all along, the coldness that never left her gaze. Dinner that night is heavy. After Lyra goes to shower, I curl up on the couch. I listen to the sound of water running. Something in my chest feels wrong. I think about her eyes tonight. Empty, unreadable. They look just like the first time she looked at me, back in Old Lane Street all those years ago. No warmth, no feeling. As if all these months of living close, leaning on each other, were nothing but a strange dream I made up on my own. I curl up on the couch. At some point, without knowing when, I drift off. Half asleep, I feel someone wrap around me gently. The touch is unbearably tender. The familiar, calming smell of soap. I burrow into her neck, half mumbling her name. Lyra. In the darkness, I feel something wet fall at the corner of my eye. Then, a kiss. Deep, heavy, like it carries the weight of everything. Adrian. Her voice is rough in my ear. It trembles. A sound I've never heard from her before, like something about to break. Wait for me. The next morning, I'm jolted awake by my phone ringing. I open my eyes. The space beside me is cold and untouched. Lyra is gone. I grab the phone. It's Willa. Her voice is barely containing something wild, disbelieving. Adrian, have you seen the news? A Sioux group is finished. Ethan has been taken in. My mind goes blank. What did you say? Breaking news overnight. A mysterious investor has aggressively acquired every scattered share of SU Group. Hard evidence of SU Group's tax evasion has been thrown into the open. The SU family patriarch has been rushed to the ICU. Serena is under investigation for financial misconduct and barred from leaving the country. Ethan, implicated as an accomplice to Serena, has been taken away by police. On the other end of the line, Willa is almost shouting. Adrian, you won. Every asset that once belonged to MU Group has been stripped from that capital and rebuilt. I'm barefoot, standing on cold floorboards. My heart is pounding so hard I can barely breathe. Who made the move? A brief silence. When Willa speaks again, her voice has changed. Layered, stunned, almost reverent. The legal representative is you, but the one who actually ran the whole operation is Lyra. She's out of her mind, Willa murmurs. Adrian, do you have any idea what this past half year has been like for her? She turned herself into a machine, no feelings, no rest. She played a long game, used every resource she had, and forced her way through this ruthless world by sheer force of will. Last night she cut Sioux Group's final funding line and completed every last share transfer before dawn. I hang up. On the dining table sits a brown paper envelope. I walk over, my hands shake so badly I can barely tear it open. Inside, a thick stack of documents slides out. Share transfer agreements, property deed of gift contracts. In the bottom right corner of every single document, the same signature, sharp, upright, unyielding, Lyra, and every beneficiary listed, me. The last page holds a thin slip of paper, one line in sharp strokes that can't quite hide the exhaustion underneath. MU Group is yours. Go live the life you were meant to live. Tears hit the paper without warning, bleeding the ink. What life was I meant to live? What kind of life is it without her? I finally understand the early mornings and late nights. The red in her eyes, the deliberate coldness at dinner last night. She was afraid that if she failed, she'd drag me down with her. She was afraid that walking this road of vengeance, bloodied and brutal as it was, would stain me, her precious, pampered young master. From the very beginning to the very end, she was trying to push me back into the clean, bright world I came from. Lyra, you absolute fool. I cry and curse in the same breath. I throw on whatever coat is nearest and run out the door like I've lost my mind. I check the cafe. I check Club Dark Star. Every place we've ever been together. She's not there. Finally, breathless, I stop at the entrance of Old Lane Street, that worn-down rental building, her old home, and after I lost everything, the only shelter I had. I run up the stairs in one breath and shove open the thin wooden door. The room is dark and quiet, no lights on. And there, on that narrow, worn little couch, Lyra, wearing her familiar black coat, legs curled up awkwardly because there's simply no room for them. She's asleep. Dark circles beneath her eyes, jawline sharply thin, her whole body radiating the deep, bone-level exhaustion of someone who has given everything she had. I tiptoe over and slowly crouch in front of her. I look at that beautiful cold face, and I can't hold it together anymore. Tears fall, one after another. I reach out and gently run my thumb along the crease between her brows, trying to smooth it away. She seems to sense something. Her lashes suddenly tremble. Those dark eyes open in an instant, sharp and guarded the way they always are when she wakes in an unfamiliar silence. But the moment she sees it's me, the ice shatters. Her voice is wrecked. She tries to stand on instinct, but her legs, locked in one position for so long, give way. She staggers. I throw myself forward and catch her. I hold on tight, arms around her waist. Where did you go? Were you leaving me? I cry without trying to stop, like a child who has finally found their way home. Tears and everything else all wiped right on her coat. Who cares about MU Group? Who cares about those shares? What gave you the right to decide for me? What gave you the right to leave me behind? Lyra goes rigid. The force of me hitting her sends her back against the couch. Her hands hang in the air, lost. A long time passes, long enough that I'm hiccuping between sobs. She slowly, tentatively lowers her hands to my back. Adrian, a sigh, her voice full of helpless, reluctant surrender. You're worth billions now. Could you please stop crying? I'll cry as much as I want. You ignored me, so I'll cry forever. I tilt my head up, eyes red, glaring at her. You said to go live the life I was meant to live? I'm telling you, Lyra, the life I was meant to live is the one that has you in it. Lyra looks at me quietly, those eyes that always carry too much. And for the first time, every mask falls away, leaving nothing but a deep, unguarded softness. My reputation is in ruins, she says softly, like she needs to confirm one last thing. Everyone in the circle says I'm ruthless and cold-blooded, that I'm someone who will do anything to get to the top. I may never be the clean, perfect, straight-A student you once thought I was. I don't care. I cut her off, no hesitation. I cup her face in my hands and make her look me in the eye. My old arrogance rises up in me, the kind that was never afraid of anything. I don't care what anyone says. All I know is, you're the one who stepped in front of a weapon for me on Old Lane Street. You're the one who worked through the night to buy me medicine when I was burning with fever and had nothing. You're the only one who took me in when I had nothing left. I lean in until our foreheads nearly touch. I feel her warm breath. Lyra, listen to me. I've lived a life of ease and privilege. I didn't understand what it cost. But MU Group is back now. From here on out, I'll take care of you. I say it like an order. You're mine, only mine. Lyra laughs, and it's the first time since we've known each other that I've seen her laugh like this, free and unguarded, like the first thaw of winter, the whole world coming alive at once. She closes the distance herself and kisses me, nothing like the desperate, restrained kiss from last night. This one is burning, the hunger of someone who almost lost everything and got it back, and with it, the certainty of finally, openly, belonging to each other. 2 years later, in a sprawling city center apartment with the best view in the building, sunlight pours through floor-to-ceiling windows onto soft cashmere carpet. I'm in oversized home clothes, humming to myself in the open kitchen. Old duck soup simmers in the pot. On the cutting board, a pile of very unevenly chopped tomatoes. I'm technically the nominal chairman of Lou Group now, but the actual work has long been handed off to Lyra, the chief executive, who actually runs things. My greatest joy in life is figuring out how to make the perfect tomato and egg stir-fry. The beep of the door lock comes from the entryway. Lyra, my face lights up. I drop the spatula and run over. Lyra's presence is even stronger than 2 years ago. She catches me as I launch myself at her, steady as always. That faint soap scent is still there, but now there's something else alongside it, a warm, mature, woody fragrance. Lyra wraps an arm around my waist and presses her lips to my forehead. Smells good. What are you making? Tomato and egg stir-fry, and this time I definitely put enough salt. I lift my chin proudly. A smile flickers in Lyra's eyes. She reaches up and ruffles my hair. Her voice carries that particular softness she only has for me. I know. Everything you make is good. Outside, the evening sun is perfect. The breeze is warm and still. The little white cat stretches lazily on the balcony. I lean against Lyra's chest and listen to her heartbeat, steady and strong. And I think, there is no more perfect ending in the world than this. Even after falling into the mud, even after being broken all over, as long as I turn around, and she's still here, that's enough.